Oh, hello, 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 hello. Hello. Hello? お帰りなさいませ。ご主人様、お嬢様。I really hope I'm not getting sick. I might be. You hear this? You hear all this gunk? Well, I have tea, so it's okay. Thank you for the twin tails, Karen. Meow, 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 meow. Thank you. Not the gunk. No, I know. I was blowing my nose this morning. Oh no. But welcome, welcome, welcome. We are resuming a game that I started playing like around when I debuted, and then I picked up again around last November, and then I got busy with other stuff. So, this is our, I think, 7th stream of Myth. I think we finished chapter 2. Anyone else missing channel points on the UI? I think the new bits thing does that. I think it's just a layout thing. It's still there. Corbin! Unnecessary, but very much appreciated. Thank you. Thank you so much. What the heck? Realize my thigh highs are not showing. Thank you. That's very kind. You started this just a few streams into Rabby. Yeah, it was like really early. I don't know how my voice is gonna do doing 3 reading streams in a row. Or not in a row, but 3 reading streams this week. I'm sure it's fine. How to describe the plot of Myth to catch you guys up. This guy finds a girl and goes through a portal, hears a weird voice and goes through a portal into another world, where I think it's in his world nobody has shadows, and then he goes into this world, and instead of normal people, they are just shadows, except for, like, a select few. So he's trying to, like, survive around this village. He makes friends. He, like, tries to find the source of that voice. But there's some weird shit, like his will is being overwritten and stuff. It's written in a very interesting way. My friend had done QC on this game, and one of the things that he was told that stuck out to me a lot that made me play this game, because no one fucking played this game. It sold like garbage. So it was really important to me that I read it, is he reported a bunch of, like, quotation mark errors, and he was told by a supervisor, that's on purpose. We're not fixing that. We've gotten to the point where we figured out someone is writing the story that he's in, and when characters are talking in single quotes, they're following the script, and when they're talking in double quotes, they're not, I think it is. I forget how, but he's gotten, like, out into the real world by the point we're at now, I think. I'd have to rewatch, but, Oh, but let me say hello to everyone first. Hello Cronus, hello Karen, hello Panis, hello Garden, hello Sweetgrass, hello Thunder, hello Vale, hello Homu, hello Memento, hello Princes, hello Hikage, hello Gengar, hello Ayakos, hello Joey, thank you so much for following. Welcome to the White Rose Cafe. Hello Fuzzy, hello Corable, hello Bastard. Corbin, thank you again for gifting 10 subs. Thank you so much. Hello, is that everyone? Okay, we're all set. There's a whole, yeah, so there's another girl investigating, like, a cult, I think, in the real world. There's a lot of shit going on. So much so that I would have trouble describing everything that's gone on. If you are interested in catching up, let me grab the VOD link. I just had it up. But it's very, very cool. Would highly recommend getting into it. Here is the VOD. I heard there was Norse mythology. Hello, Odin. Oh, yeah. There's, like, a whole separate storyline where, like, someone who looks just like him, named Berserker, is running around and talking to people who go by the code names of, like, Norse gods, and he, like, hates shadows and kills them or something. It's very weird. I think he Did he meet Berserker? Did Berserker try to kill him? It's been like 6 months. Oh yeah, there's a chart. You're right. Good point. Okay, so the main character has a notebook too that this girl who's like I think in with the author has tried to ruin. Like she's accidentally spilled tea on it, so you can't check the notebook anymore because it like keeps information he's written between loops, I think. Second star. Okay, so here he's written like several notes so that his new self doesn't forget what's happened, I guess. And then there's a chart. Oh my god, there's so much going on. Okay, so this is the main myth story. There's our main character. And then there was Asgard, which is like the berserker thing. There's so much. I wish I could describe this better, but if you read it, you'll understand. There's an AU, I think. Is this where we're at right now? Where he meets the real Yuri? Oops. And they're like dating or something. And his parents are like part of the cult, I believe. And then there's very clearly Yuri by a different name, but she's older and she's investigating the cult, I think, and she's trying to become like a lawyer, if I recall. Then there's like a prequel world where these two, who are also isekai'd, were from. It's a mess. It's a big old mess. We're in Futureland. Which one? Hello, Jordan. MC is also Yuri's girlfriend. You need a PhD to understand. No, you just need to watch the previous streams, I guess. We have started in the middle, but I don't want to quote it wrong. Or I don't want to give you the wrong information. Let me check. Who in this was involved with... Okay, the scenario writer for this worked on... He was the composer for Umineko, and he was the director for Kikonia, and also the Umineko sequel, and a few other Ryukishi things. What about this? The composer for the BGM is Luck Gonriki, who also worked with Ryukishi a lot. A big mess. This sounds like the Fate universe. How dare you? Scroll down. Oh yeah, I fixed up my Twitch panels for a little more information. We're doing a reading of Fate Stay Night 2 days a week in the Discord. So you can click that, you can join in. Yeah, so this was a doujin game that barely sold, made by a bunch of people who would eventually work with Ryukishi on Umineko and Kikonia and a bunch of projects. He worked like triathlons, shit. Hello, Persica. So, I think this is Yuri, or maybe it's Meito narrating. No, well, maybe it was the cheap beer, but I felt awful that morning. My brain was as muddled as a streetlight with a blown fuse. Messy bed hair tickled my nose, almost making me sneeze. When I finally forced myself to stand up, I was struck by with a light dizziness. Enduring my chronic back pain, I headed to the kitchen and took my medicine with a glass of water. Oh, is this 30-year-old Yuri? I turned on the TV to find a familiar name on screen. A new development in the Oz case? The shocking connection between the victim and perpetrator. Oh yeah, Oz is like a serial killer, I think, who adult Yuri has kind of like a Silence of the Lambs relationship with, right? Like she's trying to get this guy to help with a cult investigation, I think. Congrats on your watch streak, Jordan. All I could do was stare at the blood-colored font. I'd have to think about this from another perspective. The sudden beeping made me twist my body around. I placed my glass on the kitchen counter and headed for the intercom. Hello? Ah, Hiro. Oh, I recognized that high-pitched voice. It was Yukihime. Okay, so we're in the future. We're in 2016 in Tokyo. And Yuri's our protagonist. Okay. Very nice. Yukihime is... Oh! Yeah, okay. Yukihime is a girl from her college who is trying to get her to join this cult, I think. Yeah, the far-off future, 2016.
Wait, is it your birthday?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jordan. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday! Happy birthday. And hello, Lop, as well. I hope it's a wonderful day. Eat some delicious cake. Yuki. I should have been happy that an old friend was visiting. Instead, in complete antithesis to happiness, Yuki's voice bored a hole in my heart. Did you look at the pamphlet I gave you the other day? Yukihime's voice was gushing with joy. It sounded much like the first time she came to stay at my apartment. I've never spent the night at my friend's house before. My parents are so strict. I'll show you my homework later. Let's just chat a bunch today. Yuki... I'll pass. I'm not interested in religion. I tell Yukihime, trying to push away the dilemma materializing in my head. Oh my god. It becomes more interesting with time. You think there's something suspicious about the church. The church, don't you, Hiro? I did too at first, but it really is a nice place. You just need to build up enough goodwill from them. Come on, Hiro, just once. Come to mass with me and... Sorry. But go away. What is that title? It's called Myth. It's a good... good visual novel that nobody played. Oh yeah, this is all... They're speaking in single quotes, too. Oh, God. Oh. She rang the bell 3 times before my room fell silent again. Strange exhaustion apparently carried me off into my dreams. I'd been asleep against the wall for 30 minutes until my PP rang. Hello. My voice was groggy as I answered the call. Is our delinquent lawyer awake at this hour? You're up surprisingly early yourself, Ness. He tells me with inexplicable energy that he wasn't sleeping in the first place. About Program X. Even on the underground, there doesn't seem to be anything that can avoid the cyber police's security. I think there's a high chance it was self-developed. I see. After I muttered with disinterest, there was about 10 seconds of silence. I saw the report, on TV by the way. The sympathetic mastermind went on, trying to think of some way to console me. What do you think? Proof's far too clear. I don't see an innocent verdict happening. Oh yeah, she's his defense attorney, right? I think? I could hear Ness's low-pitched laugh from the receiver. Probably not. It sounded like forcing his laughter so low had given him breathing trouble. I found a cachet with Oz's diary. And? Well, the September entry is very interesting. I'd rather not send it online, so can you come get it? I think I'll be there in 30 minutes, assuming the trains don't hate me. Once Ness told me he got it, I hung up. Sounds like this diary.txt could be found online after all. Could it be that Ness found it interesting? At any rate, might as well go check. I quickly got myself ready and opened the front door. Come on, I gotta blow my nose. Ugh. As I held onto 2 different grab handles on the train, I looked out the window with an unplaceable feeling. Would the contents of the diary be able to beat the prosecution's evidence? Nose blowing ASMR, Queen, mods! The photographs, the fingerprints, the victim's notebook. What could be effective enough to overcome all that decisive proof? I happened to glance at a young couple through the gap between my arms. Hey, Keikun. A high school boy holding a bag was sleeping on the shoulder of a girl who appeared to be his girlfriend. Regardless, she kept talking. I'm guessing she didn't notice he was asleep. The girl's trendy-colored, manicured fingers stroked the boy's rough, coarse ones. It was like she was feeling for something. Seeing their hands come together made me feel just a bit happier. Turning back to the window, I could see the outside scenery flowing past. Cache is pronounced cash? No, it's not. Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. It is? Oh my god. Fine. If we were to look at this as a microcosm of a human life, I'd say the speed at which it's going is right on the money. There was a time when I was like her. Then, like the hectically changing scenery outside, the memories and feelings were buried somewhere deep in my mind by new experiences. I'll love you forever and ever. The boy didn't notice, being asleep, but regardless, she said it so quietly that only she could have heard. It's likely important that she keeps feeling that way. If, however, they were to be separated in some way, I wonder whether she'd still be able to love him. The reality is that they'll never know until it happens. If it were me in that situation... The next stop is Sendagaya. The train-wide announcement called the name of Ness's part of town. I stopped pondering to myself, adjusted my shoulder bag, and headed to the exit. Ness's apartment stood in stark contrast to the personality of its owner. Is this the same apartment that woman killed the guy? Hold on. Do you know what I'm talking about? What's her name? Who's the little girl? Oh, she's gone now. What's the name of the little girl? I can't remember. There was a little girl who had a mom in Myth. Yeah, that one. It wasn't his mom. Are they gone? They're not even here anymore? Oh, God, this is a mess. It was the girl's mom. This looks like the same apartment. There was a little girl who had a mom. Listen, all right? In context, you'd understand. I promise. What the heckaroo is this game? That's a good question, Hidaka. It is a doujin visual novel that nobody but me played. Also, it's my first time going through it. There's no way I could possibly understand or explain a second time. I barely explained it the first time what's going on here, but there is a VOD playlist. I would highly recommend it. Hello Madness, Takako, Rita Mura. Yes. His lack of a hobby presumably contributed. Oh, being someone who lived largely within his work, he owned little other than necessities. In the back of the sterile room was a large desk, upon which there was nothing but a PC and related supplies. Keeping all your food necessities around your computer could be said to be the ultimate image of the modern PC obsessive. It took you a while. The man with a wrinkled polo shirt, black jeans, and parted hair muttered with a look expressing a mixture of irritation and intoxication. Don't worry, I'll get it through context clues. I hope so. If you don't, I wouldn't blame you.
This maid is somewhat pilled. She's on her protagonist name.
Meito! Tanabe Meito! Yeah, we went through the myth story several times, and every time it looped, it got weird. The sprites started blinking. Didn't they start getting voices? Or no? Was that later? Is that later? Has that not happened, or did I make that up? Who knows? It's a mystery. Yeah. It was so cool. Just talking to him over the PV was enough to experience how sickening he is, but seeing him in person takes it to another level. So, what's interesting about the cache? I took a peek at Ness's computer, partially to avoid him getting an idea of what I was thinking about him. Take a look at this. I watched him expertly move the mouse around as I waited for him to open the cache. Looks like there was a lot left over. Looks like there was a lot left over. I put together what I could find from various search engines, too. Not that the URL I received from the server side wasn't helpful, but it was incomplete. Well, I'm sorry I wasn't more helpful. Which log is it? This one. It's from the beginning of September, the month when the first crime was committed. Ness clicked the log, and the full entry appeared on the screen. I slowly looked it over. September 1st. I've got the worst luck. A friend from college invited me to a party yesterday. Even though I dropped out already, but whatever. The guy's one of my few friends, and we got along pretty well back when I attended club. So I figured I'd take it as a chance to go outside and get some sun. Currently unemployed, so I only go outside to head to the employment service center nowadays, lol. What happened, you ask? It turned out it was to sell a pyramid scheme. Of all times. It'd been so long since I've been to a party that was so excited. Then there was nobody but old people. Oh, that I was so excited. And then there was nobody but old people there. So what do you think my friend said in response to my disgust? If you buy this model, it'll bring you good luck. Seriously. For fuck's sake. I was almost ready to punch the guy right there. But I've been taken in by a cop before, for biking at night with my light off, lol. So I couldn't do anything stupid. As long as I was there, I figured I'd buy one model, then went home. I don't even know what this thing is, though. Mobile Fleet Gundane Plus? What? Huh? Why is the cult selling Gunpla? I forgot. This is a thing? Weird. It's so lame, I doubt even a kid would like it. Why does this cost 3,000 yen? Even 1,000 would be pushing it. This has been a very depressed Oz. September 8th, Gundane. Last time I wrote about Gundane, and many of you wrote words of consolation for me on the message board. Thanks a bunch, everyone. So, oh yeah, wasn't this guy like a hardcore otaku? Wasn't he really into Gundane? So one of those comments was, so did you put the Gundane together, Sergeant? The answer should be obvious. Of course I didn't, come on. I mean, once the thing is built, it'd do nothing but just get in the way. Who needs that? Hello, Jim, how's it going? Gunso dono? Yeah, Sosuke. Sagara Gunso. The answer should be Shark. Wow, you're dumb. So how many did you buy? One, obviously. Those things are 3,000 yen each. I haven't got the money to buy more. So about the Gundane. I was thinking about just tossing it out, but it's got a surprising number of responses, so I think I'll put it together and let you all see it. I want to build Gunpla, but I have to join a cult for the model I want. Yono. Doing it today would be a pain, so tomorrow, lol. On close inspection, it looks like there's an annoying amount of parts. Well, I'm doing it anyway. Once it's done, you'll get to see it, Internet. Peace. September 9th. God damn it. Listen, everyone. So the other day, a friend from college invited me to a party, and I was forced to buy this weird thing. I was so excited after going for so long without a party, but when I got there, it was nothing but old people. Then, just to add insult to injury, what do you think my friend said? If you buy this model, it'll bring you good luck. Wow, awesome. Except not, asshole. I'd already gotten in a bit of trouble with the police before, so I avoided wailing on the guy, though. It was for biking with the light off, you know, lol. Now I'm left with nothing but disappointment and a Gundane. Someone please make me feel better. September 15th. Hello, Bodega. Hello, Antithesis. September 15th. Depressed. First off, replies to your comments. Looks like you posted about the same thing twice. Was that an accident? Yep. Wonder how that happened. Stupid me. There were a couple entries about the same material. I had no idea, admittedly. Lol. I was just drunk, okay? I think I might go to the hospital next week. Maybe I can get that neurosurgery that's been so popular this year or something. Then even I can be Einstein. Or pay 100 million yen to be rejected after a diagnosis. Oh, real? This really is... this really is the future. Anyway, I've got a seriously depressing story for today's diary entry. The other day, I saw an old friend from college for the first time in a while, and he invited me to a party. We got along pretty well back when I was attending, but when I got to the party, there was nothing but old people. They were all holding some kind of robot models, including my friend. According to him, if you buy this model, it'll bring you good luck. I know the economy got better after the Tokyo Olympics, but we're still living in a capitalistic society where you have to work hard to find happiness, so I'm amazed they found a way to make it so easy. Except not. Even a saint like me thought about smacking my friend, but I restrained myself, so I was forced to buy a Gundane and left depressed. Somebody comfort me. Hello, Midbe. Break my streak by streaming live. It was on the schedule. It was on the schedule. September 19th. September 20th. This is so dumb. It's comment reply time. Are you doing this intentionally? You keep posting about the same thing. Yeah, I guess I am. Wish I knew what was going on with that, but I don't. Probably just the heat getting to me. Oh, by the way, that entry that's just was a test. Looks like it's not an issue with the diary program or anything. Well, as long as I'm writing this, might as well talk about some other stuff that happened. So the other day, a friend of mine invited to a party. You jealous? Don't be. It was actually for a fucking pyramid scheme. But then I ended up buying from them anyway. Damn it. Should have punched the guy. September 23. Black. Deleting my webpage. Thing is, I've gotten kind of busy with work. I presume you're working when your pal Oz. You're wondering when your pal Oz found himself a job. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. It's not a job I can talk about. Serious. When things settle down, I'll set it back up. Farewell until then, everyone. September 24. Black. Black. September 25. Black. September 26. Black. September 27th. Black. Black. September 28th. Black. The black stuff is coming. Let me write this before I'm erased. The black stuff is coming. It comes from my ears and my nose and my eyes and my mouth. It has no flavor. There's only pain. When the black stuff comes, I change. Something goes wrong in my brain. Whoever sees this, help me. My address is Tokyoto Shinjuku Jingu 3. September 28th. 1. And that's it. A series of bizarre passages made me gasp. According to the record on the server side, Oz's subscription ran out on September 27th. Looks like it was officially suspended on the 28th at 8 a.m. I don't know when the last entry was written, but I doubt many people saw it. It was negative minus one. Okay, well, The diary raised some questions. The violent swings in Oz's mood did appear to be a possible sign of a long-time substance abuser. Just in case, we know how this VN... Alright, fair, reasonable. But if we were to assume that Oz was currently in a late stage of substance abuse, that leaves some other oddities. Looking at the diary, Oz's mental state began to express clear changes between the entries on September 8th and September 9th. If what he said in the September 8th entry is true, and he assembled the Gundane the next day, that appears to be the beginning of this sudden, heavily drug-addled-like behavior, the repeated diary entries, memory loss. So, isn't that weird? Ness rested his elbow on the desk and quietly murmured. Just based on the diary, his drug use symptoms were clearly sudden. There's no reason he should be showing advanced symptoms. He'd never be allowed to use marijuana after he was arrested, so he shouldn't be under the effects by now. Marijuana itself isn't effective for particularly long. I nodded at Ness's tense words as I thought about the value of this diary as proof in court. And then there's the last entry. Right. What's this black stuff? Guessing from what he wrote, something black presumably came out of his body. Something flavorless and painful comes out and splits his personality. Apropos of nothing, some memories emerged in my subconscious. I felt nauseous. I can never forget the endless ringing at the railroad crossing when... What the fuck? It's super weed 10 times more powerful than regular weed. Thank you, Nasu. What brought my what brought my consciousness back on track was the ringing of my PP. Go ahead and answer it. I checked the name on the liquid crystal screen. It was Kemari. I accepted who the fuck? Subordinate. Okay, sure. Coworker, subordinate. I accepted the call. Boss, there's trouble! A flustered voice and some background noise. As annoying as the voice was... What? Oh, okay. A flustered voice and some background noise as annoying as the voice was... Oh, as annoying as the voice was flustered, blared through the PP. It's Oz. Oz died while he was in custody. Huh? What did he say? He was being interrogated when he suddenly vomited blood and collapsed, apparently. Hey, Hiro! Next thing I knew, I was mindlessly focused on running. With greater speed than I'd ever exhibited before, I was heading to the custody building. Don't say happens, Desu. Boss, I'm 35410659 from the Tokyo Legal Defense Office. Please allow me to view the scene, I said to the guard station in the noisy custody building. Sorry, the prosecutor said not to let anyone in. Just do it. I pushed my way through. Bad feeling wouldn't go away. It was like some cruel deja vu. A clear memory buried under memories began flowing through my whole body like a blood vessel that had ceased its function, starting up again. It shouldn't be happening. Thought I'd imagined it all. Yet the repressed memories from high school were eating into my brain. Memories of someone who went missing. Of my boyfriend. Maid Tanabe. What?! Think I'll be a little late. Sorry. Hey, who are you? How'd you get in here? I'm defense attorney number 29293-2392-0331. An assistant at the Tokyo Legal Defense Office. This is my boss. Oz's lawyer? I said not to let anyone in. Boss? What I saw was blood. Blood? No, this wasn't blood. I'd seen this before. It's what I saw on the other side of the railroad crossing. Just like what I saw there. Former boyfriend. Hello, Sneak. How's it going? Takako. Simply. There's a shriek so loud you'd think someone was witnessing the end of the world. I'm sorry, my voice is fucked. When my mind got hazy and my mental functions were on the verge of shutting down, I realized whose scream it was. How long it had been since I screamed like that. Oh? What the fuck? Don't... They put us back in the damn story. Hold on. So now we're... What happened to him? Wasn't there a scene with him talking to his parents at a railroad crossing? Is that when he was younger, right? No? Am I wrong? And now we're back here? What the fuck? Oh yeah, Kotomi.
What about Kotomi-san? Well, what about Kotomi-san?
I think she had a book like that. A book like that?
What should we do, Meito-san?
Isn't it obvious? Let's meet her. We won't get anywhere if we don't. What are the quotes, man? I slept against my door today. Okay, now we're here, I think, right? What the fuck is going on? Urasu said we're like 2/3 of the way through months ago, I think? This isn't... Oh, okay. He dreamed about Myth. And now we're in 2002. I slept against the door yesterday. My hips ached. Out of the way. Oh yeah, they got out. Okay, didn't this Meito realize what was going on with Myth, and then he ran into Riri and So in the real world, right? And she like So like isn't a little girl anymore. She had like a mirror or something. Okay, this probably sounds like ridiculous out of context. It's ridiculous in context too. Out of the way. Huh? Whoa! Riri-san kicked me away. I felt around my hips. One could tell the door hinge left a mark on my side. I stood up so I could open the curtains. I realized there were a number of magazines on the bed. I took out my makeshift bookmark, and I saw a scene with a character who seemingly needed to use the bathroom. I heard Riri-san open the door as she quietly headed back to my room. That's really loud. Holy shit. Quiet. Hello, Riri! This is a weird game to come in during. I understand nothing happening here. To be fair, I'm abysmally tired. Being tired won't change that. It's a very weird game. I quietly left the room. There was no scene with that character flushing the toilet in that comic. What? Mom, Dad! They didn't reply. We headed downstairs together. All I could hear was the chirping of the birds. I guess I'll have to introduce you another time. It wasn't rare that my parents didn't come home from work some days, but I was relieved that was the case today. Not that many people were around our neighborhood. The pleasant warmth from the sun was nice, but Riri-san was still in a bad mood. How cool would it be if I could find this area and take a single myth pilgrimage photo, but nobody fucking played this game, so no one will have no one will have done a myth pilgrimage. There's no way I could find it. Tuckumer Jam win? Oh, that's a good idea. I'm here for weird games. This is maybe the weirdest game I've ever played. Nice morning today. Riri-san. Riri-san glanced over to me. Oh, the sprites are blinking now. Her expression was usually pretty stern to begin with, but now she seemed furious. I just think that there are differences in our worlds. Don't you dare think that this is water under the toilet. That was good. Sorry. An awkward atmosphere hung over us. A rough morning. I didn't really know where to cast my gaze, so I decided to flip open my cell phone. Apparently I missed a call from Yuri. That was perfect. I decided to reply, pulling her name up from my call history. Good morning. Hey, how's it going? Well, we didn't really have a welcoming party, but we're getting along. Oh yeah, So's staying with her, I think. Takako Takamura, #1 myth fan. So true. That's good. My parents haven't been home, so I haven't had a chance to tell them yet. Take a screenshot and give it to the GeoGuessr guy. That's actually not the worst idea, and that's terrifying. Huh. Well, there's no reason to rush. Could you hand the phone over to Kiki? Oh yeah, she also has a different name. Oh yeah, her name was always Kiki, but she was an amnesiac, so they named her So because it means like grassy field, and that's where they found her, I think. Could you hand the phone over to Kiki? I think she should talk to Riri-san about what they plan on doing today. Yuri didn't reply. She just handed the phone over to Kiki. I could hear Kiki's flustered voice on the line. They like swap personalities too. Riri's like a raging bitch now, and So's really like shy.
What fine weather we're having today.
Good morning, Kiki.
Meito-san, good morning.
She seemed to be getting by okay. Apparently she read the manual for Yuri's cell phone last night without even sleeping a wink. I'm gonna hand the phone over to Riri. Just keep the phone as is and wait one moment. I handed the phone over to Riri-san. Do you know how to use this? I watched you use it yesterday, so I'm fine. Hello? Riri-san, you've got the phone upside down. I'm gonna hit you if you don't shut up. Okay. #1 is in the first one. So true. The two of them decided to walk through Shinjuku. They likely wanted to get more familiar with our world. Yuri and I were fine with that. It helped prevent any additional problems from popping up in the future. I handed over the money I had to Riri-san upon Yuri's request, and then we parted. I was kind of worried about Riri-san given how aggressive she was, but with Kiki there, she should be fine. She'd likely stop Riri-san from causing any problems before they happened. I entered my classroom. From the hallway, the voices just seemed like environmental noise, but now I was in the middle of it. So many students confined in such a small space. Small crowds of people formed around the room. School. Felt familiar to me. People were talking about the World Cup, their dating life, where they like to eat, and all of them. Morning. Yo! Greeted me as I searched for my desk. Good morning. This game is so cool. This game is so fucking cool. Oh my god. I didn't know any of them, but I returned their greetings regardless. Good morning, Meito. You're here early. Masahide and Takanobu hovered around my seat. I greeted them as well. Good morning, guys. Yo, Mato, you're mad early today. The desk was scribbled with some obscene French words. Masahide seemed to have done that. I normally get angry at him, but I didn't remember where my seat was. It was actually a good thing. Masahide, are you practicing your French or something? I was gonna erase it. Don't ask me the rest. Our French teacher would likely faint if he saw that. It'd be nice if Masahide could erase it before second period. Nah, my online friend is a doujin artist, and he was just explaining to me how awesome .3 mechanical pencils are. How big is my favorite one? Hold on. Oh, it's 0.5. I should pick up a 0.3. I was curious about what they're like and decided to buy one, which leads to your desk. Just write that stuff in your notebook next time. Whatever. It's like a kid. The bell for class rang. Everyone went to their respective seats. I took my textbook out from my desk. Time for a break. Lunchtime. And finally, class was finished. Time just passed by without anything in particular happening. It just felt really peaceful and laid back. I recalled spending my time like this in the past. It didn't feel out of place at all. It's actually really great. Is that just because of nostalgia, though? This happened every day. Would I get sick of it? I couldn't really tell. The room was empty as the setting sun shone upon it. I could hear the various clubs through the windows. Just hearing their voices was like a drug for my brain. Hey, what are you doing here so late? I shifted my gaze from the windows back to the classroom. Our homeroom teacher was gazing at me with an exasperated look on his face. Sorry, I'll head home right away. Would you please? Actually, hold on. Do you have a minute? Huh? Sure. My teacher left the classroom after that. I put away my textbook and followed behind him. We passed by the faculty room, and he stopped by the small entrance to another room. It was the guidance counselor room. The room had a dusty scent to it. I could tell it wasn't used very often. The room only held a desk and a bookshelf. Schools tend to have a particular quality to their silence after classes have ended. That quality was even more apparent in this room. Tanabe, what are you thinking about? He didn't specify what he meant by that. I guess he figured I'd pick up on that, given where we were. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I guess he'd figured I'd pick up on that, given where we were, though. I'm not sure. That was the only answer I could give. In truth, I couldn't recall what I had planned as far as what I wanted to do after high school. I had too little information to make any kind of judgment call. It'd be best if I just followed along with what my teacher said for now. Honestly, I've never seen this before. Even the most delinquent of delinquents tend to have something figured out by now. Yeah, you're right. He's talking in double quotes. Everyone else is talking in single quotes. I'm gonna lie down. Have a good night, Corbin. Or a good nap. He must have been talking about the guidance counseling he was involved with in the past few months. I could tell from the way he said it that I hadn't submitted any ideas yet. Okay, there we go. Could you return my questionnaire to me? I want to think about it again. Oh yeah, he had, like, just poofed here, right? And he was, like, figuring out what was going on. He has amnesia now? Okay. It's not a bad idea. 1 second. Also, let me fix this. There we go. And hello, Sweetgrass. He took out the post-schooling questionnaire from the desk and handed me one of them. Thanks. Tanabe, don't just think of this as some kind of piece of, or as some piece of paper. Other, become a bird, or maybe a... something. Alright. The choices you make during high school will have a big impact on your life. You should really think long and hard about the future. Hello? Can we meet up? Are you asking me out on a date? Maybe. Don't fool around. Anyway, it'd be a good idea if we met up after class anyway. I'll be waiting at the usual place. Alright. It was 5 p.m. Shinjuku Station was filled with passers-by. Hold on now! I will take a screenshot and I will save this to my pilgrimage. They've explicitly named where this is. Hold on. Oh, this is so exciting. Oh, this is so exciting. Photography and pilgrimage. Save. Okay. Nice, nice. Groups of young people seem to be partially blocking the human flow hurriedly on his way home from work. Yuri was in the midst of all that, leaning against the guardrail. She just gazed at the station, not even paying attention to the large screen TV or the various people there. Felt somehow lonely. Hey, want to walk around a bit? Ooh, or would it be better if I had it with her in it? Hold on, alright. I'll crop this and then I'll be good. Okay. Yuri stood up, so I began to walk around without any particular destination in mind. Crumbled the receipt in my pocket. Things have changed. If she didn't say that, we might have continued walking in silence the entire time. We'd almost forgotten about one another, and not in a bad sense either. Shinjuku just held our attention more than we did ourselves. 2002. This is my hometown. Feeling nostalgic? I have mixed feelings right now. Like, I do feel nostalgic, but things feel new to me as well. It's a really strange feeling. I see. I get it. What about you? It's just nostalgic for me. It reminds me of when I was a student, seeing the places that have closed or where new places are opening. I didn't think much about that period of time. The way she said that made me realize just how much of a gap there was between us. You're 32 now, right? Are you bringing that? Oh yeah, she also poofed here. This is the same her as this. Although her name is different. What the fuck? Oh my god. You can't take a break from games like this. You really can't. What are you bringing up that for all of a sudden? Sorry, it was just odd to me. We're the same age now, but we're really 14 years apart. Yeah. What'd you do for a living? I was a lawyer. Lawyer? Sounds like it suits you. Really? Yeah, you never seemed serious, but you had a particular fortitude about you. I barely remember, though. Everyone laughed when I said I wanted to be a lawyer. I said it didn't suit me at all. It's because they were just looking at things at face value. A long period of silence passed. I could only imagine what she was thinking about. It was then that I decided to think about the one thing that had been on my mind ever since we met again. Did you get married? Yuri quietly replied after another long period of silence. Yeah. I didn't know what to say. There were many things I wanted to ask, though. Who'd you marry? Why'd you come to Myth? Did you really make the right choice by abandoning your family? All those words drifted through my mind like a feather, yet each and every one of them held a significant weight of their own. They were things I felt I shouldn't ask about. I had no right to know. All I could say was, congratulations. That was all. Sign? Wait, where are we? What the fuck is... Oh, okay, we're in 2016. We're in 2016. That's right, it's blue, and the UI is futuristic. PN 237281 entering. How are you doing? Sorry for all this. It was just a temporary thing. Fine now. I was surprised. It's not like you to lose yourself like... Oh yeah, she sees a psychiatrist. Forgive me. I won't inquire about it. I'll be a good superior and just report what happened. Oh, never mind. Oz is dead, so you're no longer on this case. Thanks for the work you put into it. How did he die? An overdose. It's undetermined whether it's suicide or murder yet. What kind of drug was it? PN 3287321. You should be more mindful of the fact that this is just idle chatter. You're telling me not to look into this more? Don't go looking for scraps. It's the police's job from here on out. We've no right to get in their way. For now, excuse me. The black sun rose and fell with every step I took. The world was black. Every object in this reality, people, buildings, vegetation, all of it had become one. I was the oddball. I knew that. Whenever I visited this world, I'd take my medication. That was how I managed to cling to the real world. I leaned against my car and opened my bottle of water with the last remnants of my power. The water spilled out from my mouth, wetting my blouse. I didn't care. I wasn't in the right condition to worry about that kind of thing right now. I feel someone else's gaze. My window's open. The construction truck is here, sorry. I might have to close it. Okay, hold on. Okay. I'm sure I've never heard of this before. Yeah, no one else has either for today. It was worked on by a bunch of people who eventually worked on Ryukishi projects, though, which is exciting. Fan up a bit. I know it's gonna be loud, but it belonged to someone I knew as well. Rei-senpai didn't say anything. He just watched me as I desperately clung to the car. You look awful. The medicine began to take effect by the time he said that. I couldn't tell whether that was out of kindness or done as a means for him to harm me even more. Aren't you sick of watching me do this? Why would he want to watch my instability? For someone like him, who's worked in the same office as me for all these years, this shouldn't exactly be a rare sight. Nah, I'm not. I can never figure it out. Why do you do this to yourself? It's just how I am. You're silly. Did you do that on purpose just so you could say that? No. Rei-senpai stopped himself from saying anything else. Came here to warn you not to chase after phantoms. Why? Just tell. It's the only reason why you lose control over yourself like that. I regretted my previous actions. Why did I ever talk to this guy about Meito Tanabe? Knowing the truth about him is everything to me. I'll do anything to find that out. Is that for his sake? The look on his expressionless face changed slightly. It was one unique to men, one of disdain, where jealousy and vanity mixed together. Yes. I played the fool. I could keep a certain distance between us by doing that. You probably think you're doing the right thing by putting your life on the line for someone else. It was the last sarcastic quip he made for the day. I didn't feel like getting in the car for a bit. My body felt more fatigued than usual. Speaking of which, I should also take my meds. Hold on. One sec. And now that it's been half an hour since the first med, I can actually eat. God, okay, hold on one sec. Do I get a protein bar or do I get a cashew and date bar? What are we thinking? What's today's breakfast? What kind of bar are we eating? What are we snacking on? Cashew date desu, understood. Yokai. Lara bar it is. Thank you, Garden. I'll have to drink a protein shake later then, that's fine. A date? How about next Friday? Shut the fuck up, man. Okay. The sky took on its usual red color before long. My PP began to ring after the guitar solo playing on the radio ended. Hello? I turned off the radio and pressed the button on the phone. I immediately heard someone's rather languid voice. Yo. It was Edogawa. Who? College classmate? Chief police officer. Oh, okay. What is it? I guess I just wanted to hear your voice. Do I really need a reason to call? That was a very Edogawa-like line. Given his position, he obviously knew what my condition was like. It's a pretty crappy way of trying to pick me up. I don't like you trying to take advantage of my weakness, either. Don't be a contrarian. I called you because I was worried. Well, thanks for that. The light was red. I hit the brakes, then we stopped talking. More because the two of us didn't talk about things not related to work very much. It was honestly kind of shocking that he decided to call me because he was worried. So, what do you think of Oz's death? I couldn't take it, though, and decided to chat about work. It's odd. The cause of death is known, but the source is unclear. It was an overdose, right? It's hard to imagine that Oz was in possession of narcotics while he was in prison. I feel the same way, which makes me think it was a murder. Anything that was given to him during a meeting might be suspicious. Seems logical. What kind of people met with Oz while he was in prison? Why do you want to know? Huh? Edogawa's response caught me completely off guard. I know it's your job to probe and be persistent, but let me hear it. Why do you care about Oz? Why? Because I was defending him until just yesterday. I'm curious about his death. No, I think they're not saying it was weed. I think when they brought up weed earlier, they were saying like even if he was on weed, for example, the shit doesn't line up, right? I don't think Oz actually takes weed. They have no idea what drug he's on, if he's on a drug. Hello, Solo. How's it going? Good morning. Good afternoon. I guess it's 5. Good night. And he shook off the prosecutor just to get to the scene of the crime, all for a simple client? Are you hiding something? I'd never heard him speak to me like that before. Edogawa's tone was one of a police officer's. You're suspicious of me? How couldn't I be? I'm innocent. How can you say that? Should I tell him about Meito Tanabe? Black fluid connected to Oz's death. The clear foreboding of his memory loss. They both occurred before my high school boyfriend's disappearance, too. The cars behind me began to honk. The light had turned green. I pressed on the accelerator as I made up my mind, then replied to Edogawa. Sorry, I can't answer. See. Edogawa's tone was blunt. The one thing I can say is that you won't reach the truth behind Oz's case by being suspicious of me. It's just my advice to you as a friend. Silence filled the car. By the time I made it onto the highway, I realized the call had disconnected. This is so violent. I forgot to use my birthday yesterday because wait, really? Use it. Go ahead. Happy late birthday. Oh, it was Anime Club Day. We didn't stream, I see. That's our second birthday redeem for the day. I can't use it. Why? Do you not have enough ribbons? What? How much is it? Oh, Fuzzy. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Solo. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday! And thank you, Fuzzy. That was very sweet. It was very nice, Sue. Thank you. Thank you, Tali. You should be thanking Fuzzy, silly. What's that? Morning. Riri-san suddenly began speaking to me as I sat on the couch. It's a paper that you use to write down what you want to do in the future. Did they Photoshop that in? Wait a minute. It looks awful. My parents still hadn't returned home. The note I left on the table hadn't moved an inch. Hmm. So all you have to do is write down what kind of job you want and you'll get it? That's rather simple. It's not that easy, it's just what you want to do. There's obviously more to it. You might not necessarily even be capable of that kind of job. It's just what the school uses to check if it's something you could maybe do. I don't get it. Is it just something you fill out to make sure you avoid pitfalls? Something like that. I understand. No one wants to fall into that sort of thing, you know? Ryuri-san stretched the questionnaire for me. Snatched the questionnaire from me. So, what do you want to do? What the hell is this? That's the problem. What I wrote isn't something your average high school student would write. Yeah. Are you sick or something? You could maybe say that I knew of my future or something. Either way, it's odd. Yeah. I didn't realize it till I let go of the questionnaire, but I caught a whiff of something tasty. Are you making breakfast? Ryuri-san placed the questionnaire down, headed to the kitchen. I don't like the food they make at those convenience stores or whatever. I decided to buy a cookbook and make something myself. There were 2 servings of potato salad and omelets on the tray, with some cherry tomatoes and red paprika on top. Oh, you made some for me too. Thanks. It's the least I can do for letting me stay here, even if this place isn't real. I looked at the omelet. She wrote something on it with ketchup. It said, Je t'aime. What is this? It was in that comic or whatever. It said that writing this makes things more sweet. Is that real, though? What does it mean? It means you love me. Don't post that, Karen. That's disgusting. Ryuri-san headed back to the kitchen after we finished eating. I didn't want to follow her, but I didn't want to make her wash the dishes either. We ended up washing them together in silence. Ryuri-san, would you mind following me after we're done? Say that one more time and I'll beat that rotten courage out of you. I just meant, will you come with me to my parents' room? That doesn't sound any better, buddy. Yeah, omelette du fromage. I continued, trying my best to avoid any additional misunderstandings. I was gonna ask them when they came back, but it'd be easier to just do this now that they've been gone for 2 days. Oh no. Alright, I'll join you. Why do you need her to go with you for that? This looks like a vacation house. This looks like an apartment you'd stay in when you go to Wildwood. Jesus Christ. Separate beds. What is this, the 1950s? Don't mean to him. I'll mean to him. He's yucky. Lol, lamau desu. Wakaru. Here we are. My parents' room was a combination of Western and Japanese styles, plus it was fairly large. It served as both an office of sorts and a place to sleep. Lineage break! Hello! Thank you for resubscribing for 38 months. I did. I saw the image. They're doing a stream for it, right? Don't fall into it, man. Don't do it. Don't do it. I believe in you. Hold on to that money. Don't you give them what they want. Save that money for the movie ticket when they finally make it. I hope you're doing well, man. I'm not strong enough. No! More! Riri-san? Riri-san glared at me. She must have still suspected I was up to something. I shouldn't push it, though. I just pretended I didn't see her glaring at me as I continued. Let's look for the place they work at. You know what the drawers on the desks are, right? Yeah, there are 2. I'll search through this one. We began to look through the drawers. Luckily, they weren't locked. What's this? There were writing implements in the drawer along with thick documents that must have been hundreds of pages long. It's getting interesting. The drawer Riri-san looked through had the same thing. What was written on those documents was... Tanabe Optics Research, Chief Koichi Tanabe. This just be a coincidence? Dad apparently did optics research. What is that? What? Hold on. The branch of physics that studies the behavior and properties of light, including its interactions with matter and the construction of instruments that use or detect it. Could this have something to do with shadows? Optics usually describes the behavior of visible, ultraviolet, and infrared light. Okay. I didn't know. I read through the documents he had. The beginning was about lens development and managerial stuff. The scope of those things grew in size as I turned each page, though. A number of difficult words were written on the documents, but I was only able to pick out one specific line. Complete human evanescence utilizing optical camouflage. Wait, what? Yeah, seriously, wake me up. I can't wake up. So, making a person disappear completely by using light, essentially. They make the shadows? What the fuck? This isn't the kind of thing some kid would understand, but how's it going, shadowless? Oh yeah, they're back in the world with no shadows. I can't even understand a tenth of this. What about you? Don't be absurd. Some of it could be related to myth. Optical camouflage. It's a way of removing someone's form to other people's vision. It could also be related to the reason why I ended up disappearing, but is it something that's actually possible in reality? I don't know the details, but probably not. I've only heard of this kind of thing in games before. More games? You really like things like that. No more than other people, I think. Now I can see why you wrote that stuff in the questionnaire. You should look at reality. Anyway, let's look around a bit more. We continued searching through the drawers after that. There was nothing in particular of note, though. Just more writing utensils, science magazines, and CDs. I heard a cell phone ring. I checked my pocket, but it wasn't my phone that was ringing. Look at this, shadowless. I turned around. Riri-san was holding a cell phone with a bear strap on it. Is that my parents? Everyone seems to want to make things simple in this world. She gazed at the cell phone as she said that. What's that mean? Nothing really. Riri-san then took the documents and headed for the door. Where are you going? I'm going to meet your parents. Their work address was written on those papers, so we can easily make it there if we ask around. Hold on a second. We can't do that yet. She sighed. There's nothing else we can do. We should meet up with Yuri and Kiki first, right? This isn't a problem for just you and me, after all. It's exactly why I want to go ahead and meet your parents. Don't waste our chance. The cell phone is mine. I bought it yesterday with Kiki. It only made sense from the standpoint of logic and safety for all of us to act together. Riri-san must have realized that as well, yet she was trying to go to my parents' job by herself. Her cell phone was blue. I didn't actually know of the existence of her phone, though, which indicated that our level of freedom in myth right now was quite high. Maybe she thought that by acting on her own like that, she'd be able to surprise the opposition. At least from an inevitable coincidence, a plan using this world's autonomy to our advantage. I don't think it's worth it. You acting on your own could potentially just be an inevitability. That's exactly right, but thinking like that means we can't act at all. Shadowless. Think of our actions like a die. For now, we've had to live following that die. Now, though, we can roll the die itself and act on our own. It means we're allowed to be active on the table, at least more than we have up until this point. Not rolling the die is equivalent to not putting up a fight during our limited time. Maybe it'll lead to a positive outcome, but I still think that acting on your own is risky. If something happened to you, if you think it's more dangerous than the situation we're in now, I'd like you to tell me. I'll contact you with this phone if something happens. I know how to use it. She left without waiting for me to reply. She's so stubborn.
So, she went on her own?
Yeah, I guess it's just her style. I met up with Yuri and Kiki after that. I didn't have time to be going to school. This was our first clue, after all. Kiki, you bought a cell phone too, didn't you? Did you? I thought I was gonna sneeze. Could you give me Riri's number? She said she'd contact me, but then she never actually told me how I could.
Here. One moment.
Okay. Kiki froze up as she stared at her phone. What's wrong? It's the same type of phone Riri had, just a different color. However, battery ran out.
Battery? Oh, there was something about charging it on page 19 of the manual. So that's why it stopped working correctly last night.
You're messing around with it too much. Anyway, you can just tell me later when you get back home.
Forgive me.
Anyway, show me those documents. Yuri spoke up. Here. I took the documents out from my backpack and showed them to her. She fervently read through them. Does it make sense to you? Not at all. I'm not a scientist. There are two things I picked up on, though. Mind explaining? The first is that the optical camouflage spoken of in these documents didn't exist in the year 2016. I don't know how research for this stuff is progressing, but at the very least, there wasn't anything like optical camouflage wear in the future. See. The other thing is that if this level of camouflage could be realized, you could visually kill someone. My dad is the chief researcher at the Optics Research Institute. Could they be receiving funding from the state or some other influential entity? Hello? Don't be silly. Optics research is generally done by companies that develop and manufacture products like camera lenses and such. Huh? Can't be a public entity given its Tanabe Optics Research. It must be a small, privately owned institute. Right, I can see that. I guess that was a needless worry given the name. That'd be something out of a movie or otherwise. That'd be like something out of a movie or otherwise. I have just a little bar left. Let me finish it and then I'll continue. Okay. Still means we should look into your parents more, though. Still can't deny their potential involvement. Just asking them about this research might be worth our time. Yeah. Her words lifted my spirits up. Well, just knowing where it's located at is already a plus.
Anyway, we should meet with them and ask for more information.
Right. We headed for my parents' workplace from Shinjuku Station via train.
Whoa.
Kiki gazed at the scenery from the windows like a child on their first trip via train. It wasn't loud, though, probably because she had picked up on the atmosphere inside. Is it really that interesting?
No. Well, yes, it is, but, no, well...
Hmm?
I'm a little scared.
Oh, so that was it. Nice J, yes, seriously. Takako, why is it so hot? It's June. What do you mean? It's hot out. It's summer. It was only natural, though. There couldn't have been trains in her world. They probably can only travel via horse or on foot. Apparently the speed at which the scenery changed was too much for Kiki. Want me to pull down the shade? I asked her that as I reached out for it.
Thank you. But I think I do kind of want to look out.
She was both scared and curious, it seemed. She'd glance outside, then quickly avert her gaze over and over. It's funny. Oh, right, you did the same thing when you first saw a car.
I'm sorry. I'm such a scaredy cat, but I can't stop. Riri always gets mad at me for this. She's always saying that I need to take it easy and not freak out.
Well, I guess if everything startles you, that could be a little tiring. Not only for you, but people around you, too.
I think Riri wants to be startled by this sort of stuff, though.
Really? I can't imagine that.
She's really kind. Things will scare her, but I tend to react before she does, so she doesn't really have the chance to.
That's something you can't really tell about her on the surface, though. I wonder. I think it's more just her personality than her losing the chance to react.
She's surprisingly sensitive. She was worried about people looking at us while we were walking through town yesterday.
Riri was?
Yes.
Well, you are sisters. It's no surprise you know all this stuff.
Been together forever. That'll probably never change either.
I'll close the shade just halfway then, so you can look out if you're curious. I lowered the shade a bit on the opposite side of the train. The lady on the other side didn't seem too happy.
Thank you.
Is this the place? We were able to find Tanabe Optics research rather quickly. The map I printed out earlier from my computer helped a lot. It seems kind of derelict. She was right. The company was right in the middle of the residential district. It seemed like more of a factory than a research institute. Hearing the children playing in the park, coupled with the appearance of the place, produced a rather poetic, vintage atmosphere around the company. There's a bunch of machinery I didn't recognize inside. It's likely a workspace of sorts. Hello? I guess that was kind of an odd thing to say. I couldn't sense anyone's presence besides us, despite the fact that I just shouted. One's around?
Yeah.
I heard Kiki yelp. I turned around and noticed an unfamiliar man standing there. Meito? What's going on? Yuri-chan's with you too? Did you skip school? I came here to talk to you and Mama. About what?
Something very important.
And you are? One of my friends. Nice to meet you. Anyway, come inside. Your mother's upstairs. The Kiao is immaculate. Shut up! Hello, and Meowing. Papa greeted Yuri and Kiki, then headed up the stairs in the work area. We followed behind him. Actually, I should make a Stream Elements timer bot when I play Myth. That auto says, "Are you confused? Here's the VOD playlist." Oh, let's see. Okay, all good. First time I watched you was when you were doing a Myth stream. I thought the game was what? That's so nice to say. What the fuck? Thank you. That's so funny that you joined during this mess of a game and you stuck around. Thank you. What the heck? All right. The second floor was rather lifeless. Beyond the shoe rack were some decorative plants, along with a few shelves and 4 desks. The air conditioning seemed like it was on full blast. I shivered a bit. What are you looking around all over the place for? I'm just wondering where Mama is. She should be in the break room. We followed my father in there. Meito? What's wrong? What are you doing here? Her voice was high-pitched. She must have been my mother. Oh god, he doesn't even remember them. Papa, Mama, there's something I want to ask you too. My mother and father looked at each other before my father spoke up. Meito, what are you going on about Papa and Mama for? Huh? Isn't that how I was supposed to address my parents? Fucking berserker.
Mr. and Miss Tanabe,
Which of you wrote this? Oh, I did. This is just some sci-fi kind of stuff, though. Could you explain more about this? It's not really a big deal. It's just something like a memo I wrote down. I was just screwing around. This sort of thing was popular a few years back. Like a hoverboard from the Jetsons would never actually work in reality. Or trying to reproduce lightsabers from Star Wars would have a host of its own problems.
A scientific examination of things from science fiction?
Would you really call that an examination? I just wrote it down out of boredom.
I don't understand all the details, but if you could actually make this, you'd be able to make a person invisible, right?
It's impossible. The principles behind it are based on science fiction. Okay, this is gonna be way off. If the author read this, though, it's a fiction story, so they could just make that a reality in the shadow world, right? No?
Hello, Butler.
It's not like I have the funding to actually test it out. And even if I did, I don't have the resources. Retro-reflection materials aren't easy to come by.
Retro-reflection materials?
Oh my god! Like road signs, or the vests people wear when directing traffic. If you shine light on those things, they reflect it. The light reflects in the direction it came from because very tiny pieces of glass are placed inside those things at a specific angle. In other words, only the part with the retro-reflection material will reflect. That's why the writing on the signs or the outline of the vest will stand out.
So, how is that related to optical camouflage?
This technique is designed to make things stand out easier for people's eyesight. Can be applied in a reverse manner as well. For example, if you have the retro-reflective glass placed at a different angle, you could have the scenery it reflects contained within it. Meaning it's a cloak of sorts.
Is that possible with today's technology?
Look at this. It's possible to implement this using a magic mirror and projector. All it requires is placing retro-reflection material in the magic mirror's incident range and projecting at it. Theoretically, this would make any object effectively invisible.
You said this was impossible just a bit ago.
Yes, like I said, it's not easy to come by this stuff. It's impossible to make an object completely disappear. It's just a pie-in-the-sky theory.
How can you be so sure of that?
You can't make someone's shadow disappear. Shadow. It's fruitless so long as the object has a shadow. A shadow will always obstruct the reflection, so it'll always be visible. That's why I said this kind of material isn't easy to find. It's totally impossible. That's why this kind of thing only exists in science fiction.
How would you completely erase someone's shadow?
Well, like I said, so long as light exists, there'll always be an accompanying shadow. This is common knowledge.
Please answer the question, even if you don't think it's particularly possible.
It's foolish.
But you're the one who wrote this down.
What I wrote down is based on real science. Trying to go beyond that is a little...
Please?
Fine. There are two ways I can think of.
And those are?
Mess with the world itself, somehow distort a space so the trajectory of light changes. In a nutshell, making light cease to exist.
And the other way?
Mess with humans themselves. Simplify their sense of sight. For example, making them unable to see color, which would limit what's visible to them. This is obviously a crazy theory, but it'd make invisible humans possible.
It will stop shrimping. Thank you, Duke. And hello, Akko.
Was this about Norse mythology? That's a good question. There is Norse mythology in this game, but we're not in this world right now. We're in this world, or maybe this one, or we keep going back to this one, but right now we're in this one. This one's unrelated. Who's eating Loki? I forget now. Is it Berserker? No, Berserker likes Loki. I forget now. I think Valkyrie tells Berserker to eat Odin, and he won't do it. Or Loki. Oh no, he does! He does eat him! Fuck, I was looking at Odin. Odin's the one who tells him to do it. Anyway, sorry, that's unrelated. But who's Berserker? That's what we're trying to find out. We think he's the protagonist, kind of, but he's not. This game is difficult. We are 7 parts in. It's a fucking mess. I wish I could explain at all. Is this fate? No. No. How do I describe this stupid game? I love it, but it's dumb. It's weird. I don't know. Check the VODs, man. I wish I could give you an answer. I've never seen this streamed ever. Yeah, because no one ever read this game. Oh, I should make it a command too. You're right. Hold on.
Paperella, Paperella CN, thank you so much for following. Welcome to the White Rose Cafe. Ayo.
Let me make it a chat command too. I've seen several myth streams and we're still confused, right? Okay, there we go. Feeling lost? Check the myth body. Fuck, that's funny. Oh. The myth command doing nothing is really funny and perfect. Listen! Will this be on the exam? Yes. Yes, it will. As difficult as it is to describe, this VN is Kino. So I would highly recommend getting into it. Do I have to write a thesis? Yes. We've hit, I don't know, you should add the Takamu. Yeah, I should, you're right. I would 100% read this. It's weird. I would recommend it if you like Denpa VNs or Ryukishi VNs or whatever. If you like meta fiction, it's really, really, really good. Maid would love a physical copy of this game. It's so true. What is Denpa? Oh boy. How do I describe it? Denpa is like, by definition, it's electromagnetic radio waves. It's used to describe like a subculture that's sort of like stuff that's off and usually related to like either otaku culture or like conspiracies and UFOs, delusions, stuff like that. Chaos Head is a Denpa game. Some people think Cyanute is a Denpa game. It's often used to like describe, or it's on the other end. It's used to describe some subgenre of music. Or stuff that's like just a little too much. It's too poppy. It's too off. Like the melody like doesn't hit, or the singing is hardcore moe and it's like bad to the point of being like unpleasant to listen to or like hypnotic. Steins Gate is Denpa. I wouldn't say Steins Gate's Denpa because it's like no one's like perception is wrong. No one is losing their mind. Kotoko can be a Denpa singer. Haruko Momoi as Ever 17 was a big Denpa song enthusiast. Some arcs of Higurashi are Denpa, not all of them. I don't know. Tsubahibi's very, 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 very Denpa. But yeah. I found an old Eroge opening I haven't heard since like high school the other night, and I was chatting with friends and I posted it in the group chat and someone was like, why does this sound like Kotoko? I was like, because it is Kotoko.
Bumpy jumpy.
Where is it? Here. I don't remember if this is safe for work, but it's an Eroge opening, so there you go.
Bumpy jumpy.
Okay, anyway. Cuckoo.
Oh, hello, Ro. Okay, I see.
That'd be kind of crazy. You know what's kind of Denpa? Haruhi. Haruhi's kind of Denpa. I don't know if that's a good example or not. What is Takako Takamura then? She's just a maid who likes scary shit. Oh, there is. Oh, there is? Okay, well, I guess I'll. Don't worry about it. Are they really that immediate? Really? No shot. They're covered. Relax. That's safe. It's fine.
I am not!
They're not... All right, whatever. I was just sharing a song with you. You can't even... You can't even be mature enough to just listen. Anyway. Right? Words like that don't exist even in Star Trek. Star Trek? So why are you asking about all this? Are you doing independent research for school or something? My mom returned with some tea.
Thank you.
What about you?
Yes, thank you.
Kiki probably wasn't keeping up. Her mouth was just agape as she listened to us. Your mother's right. This was the last thing I'd expect you to ask about after seeing you for the first time in ages. Yuri and I looked at each other. We were likely thinking the same thing. T-bui. Could someone find the clip of Shiro and Prisma Ilya saying, "Anime no dibui ka"? My friend cropped out that bit years ago and we used to post it all the time. I don't even know what episode it's from. Anime no dibui ka. In 10 words or less, what is myth about? Guy isekai's not really, tries to escape story. Was that 10 words or less? I don't know. Koichi and Kyoko Tanabe were clearly different from the ones written about in myth. What could that mean? Why'd you guys write about this? Your father likes to write this kind of stuff when he gets really drunk. He wanted to be a scientist when he was younger. Science is great, Meito. It's like a man's dream job. You probably don't want to hear that from your father, though, given he manages a factory after leaving college halfway through his degree. Cut it out. I was sick of classwork. It's always the same boring stuff. My mother seemed to be fed up with hearing him say that. Anyway, if what they said was true, what's written on those documents is just a dream that a pseudoscientist came up with. I do believe that anything's possible with science, though. That's why I write down everything I come up with, hoping that science in the future will make my dreams a reality. Just let him do what he wants. He thinks he's like an author when he's writing this stuff down. My mother laughed. Seems like you two don't come home often. Yuri changed the subject. She likely figured this was unrelated to what we needed to know. Yeah, lately. Ever since one of our employees had a child, we've been helping her out. Lately? Made me want to rip up that note I wrote. Couldn't tell what was real and what was a lie. What does your colleague's childbirth have to do with you staying here more, though? She lives nearby. Your mother decided that we should help out if anything happens. Why would you go out of your way to do that? Meito, I told you about Ichii-san's situation before. I hate to ask, but could you explain to me as well? Ryoko Ichii. She's one of our few employees. She was abandoned by her parents when she was young. She lives with her younger brother now. This is her first child, and she has no family besides her brother. Obviously, she'd want someone by her side. The husband... Meito. What about her husband? Is he not living with her? He ran off somewhere the moment he heard she was pregnant. So she just lives with her brother and child. That's right. Ryoko isn't the name of the mom, is it? The mom? The murderous, sex-crazed woman? You know who I'm talking about? I don't think so, right? I don't think she had a name? No, she for sure had a name. No, not Berserker's mom. In Myth, there was a little girl whose name I can't recall. And she had a mom. Who, it turned out, was like a cult kinda yandere nutcase in the real world. And she killed her boyfriend and did some shit that I had to... I had to turn the game off screen for, that I couldn't read to you. I forget her name now.
I guess we didn't get any new clues from them then.
Sunset. Kiki held the Japanese sweets she received from my parents as she said that. There's a possibility that they're lying. They wouldn't so readily talk about myth. All we heard was the basic stuff. I think we did the right thing by not pressing them, though. They'll definitely talk to you at some point. Meito during the first time around wrote. Oh, Meito during the first time around wrote as much. But I can't help but think about how.
About how?
What's written in the notebook is so different from reality. It's more trustworthy than your parents are at the moment, though. I guess that's true. Plus, yeah? Never mind.
Riri. Where did Riri go?
Kiki's voice drowned out Yuri's utterance. Right. It seems like she never showed up to the factory.
I wonder what happened.
This is what cell phones are for. Kiki... I immediately stopped myself from saying anything more, though. I recalled that Kiki's phone wasn't charged.
Forgive me.
Yuri shrugged. Damn. Well, I guess we have to head home first. What are you gonna do, Meito? Yeah, I was worried we couldn't get in touch with her. We couldn't just stand around here. Alright, let's head back. Maybe she'll contact us somehow.
Riri.
Don't worry, Riri can take on even a crowd of guys.
That's true, but...
I was exaggerating, but it turns out that was actually the truth. Guess she's not back. I knew that was going to be the case because I didn't sense anyone around, though. Where did Riri-san go off to? I lay down on my bed and started to think. There's only one thing she'd have to do in this world, and that would be to escape from Myth. She has no other business here. She must have gone to visit my parents. I guess the most likely outcome is that she got lost. Kiki's kind of a worrywart. Of course, this world's dangerous in its own right, but I can't imagine Riri would somehow end up dying because of that. The reason why Kiki called in the morning must have been because she was worried. This cell phone is mine. I bought it yesterday with Kiki.
Battery? Oh, there was something about charging it on page 19 in the manual. That's why it stopped working correctly last night.
If it stopped working last night, then how could she have called in the morning? Who called Riri-san then? Ah! I heard a ringtone echo through the bed. No! When I turned on the light in the room, the smell of coffee permeated my nostrils. The nearly day-old beverage set on a newspaper had small white specks covering the surface. After I opened the curtain in the living room, I tossed out the unfinished coffee in the kitchen. Since I was in the kitchen, I opened a bottle of mineral water and guzzled it all down. I tossed my shoulder bag off like a shot-put player and dove into my bed like a swimmer. I didn't want to think at all if I could help it. Oh, yeah, that option was always available. Even now, it was waiting for me. I could forget. Over time, the memories would be washed out and replaced with new ones. I'd try forgetting tomorrow, for example. That'd be the end of that, and my life would be a lot easier. If I just enjoyed myself, overcame these hardships, and moved on, I'd be much better off than I am now. It's certainly the function of forgetting. It's the emergency escape plan left to us by God to help us get past our painful reality. We have it to help us keep living when there's nothing else to rely on. I don't know if we got a name for the sex crazed mom. They definitely name her, like, in Myth, though. Like, I think they did even earlier in this, because she's the one who has the book that he has to check, and they do that a few times. I don't know if I can go back far enough. There's that bit where the village chief is like, oh, I think so-and-so had... Yeah, I can't go back enough. You know? Please don't be Yukihime. The intercom began to ring while I was dozing off. The incessant ringing of the bell stabbed at my ears. Yes?
Sorry to keep bothering you, Hiro.
Yuki.
There's something I wanted to give you today.
Go away. Giving myself up to something outside reason, I slammed my hand on the intercom's off button. Just stop. It's driving me crazy. The artificial pressure in my eardrums. I was so mad I had the urge to break something. You could almost call it a type of obsession. Give up already.
Hero, why won't you understand? Aren't we friends? I know we haven't seen each other in a while, but that doesn't change things, does it?
However wonderful you think that place is, I disagree. Enough, Yuki. There are people who prefer shortcake and there are people who prefer chocolate. Do you get what I'm saying?
You hate me now?
I'm gonna call the cops. Ooh! Double quotes? Silence returned to my room. The ringing in my ears continued, though, as chills ran up my spine. How was the Denpa mate? So good. Chef's kiss. Hello, Mark. I hope you're doing well.
Do you hate...
Stop already.
Please open the door.
What? What do you want?
I want to give you something.
Don't! A roaring vortex expanded in my head. Couldn't take it anymore. All I could think of was how much I wanted to get away. Stop it already! I should have thought about it more. I could have peeked through the door or called the cops.
Finally, I gave it to you.
Outside the entrance, Hime smiled. First, I didn't know what she was talking about, but it didn't take me long to understand. Huh? Yuki's hands were stained scarlet.
Sorry, I didn't want to do this.
This being what?
I was glad I'd get to see you, but they told me to do it.
Who did?
They won't give it to me otherwise. Why did it come to this?
Don't you dare! Oh, ich, ach, oh. Evil. Evil. Kiki was curious about the symbol that showed up on the top right of her phone's screen and asked me about it earlier. What do you think about this text? Something must be up. I agree. For someone who's not even familiar with our technology in general, it's hard to imagine that Riri was able to send this text herself. It's possible another person did. And what about Kiki, then? Yuri sighed. She wouldn't have even been able to read this text without me. I sighed too. I guess there was a large gap in technology between our two separate worlds.
Let's save her, Mito-san.
Kiki.
She's alone.
Kiki. My tone was more forceful that time. Kiki's expression turned glum after that.
I know what you want to say, but Riri is...
I know. I'm not saying we shouldn't save her.
Then...
We can't knowingly plunge into something that might be dangerous. Right, Meito? I ignored Yuri and continued. You bought that cell phone yesterday, right? Or, no, I guess 2 days ago. You were with Riri the entire day, right?
Yes, we were together until we parted with you two.
Right. She hadn't told anyone her number yet at that point. Riri must have had whoever called her yesterday morning in her address book already, though. What's your reasoning for that? Riri said this to me as she looked at her phone. Everyone seems to want to make things simple in this world. Yuri. Meito signaled to Yuri to call Kiki's phone. Kiki, could you tell me your phone number? Kiki told Meito her phone number, who then proceeded to dial it. What is this? What? Why are we suddenly talking about him in the third person, brother? What's going on here? Why do we have narration now? I'm just guessing, though.
What does this mean?
Ruri put this person's number in her address book. It's proof that it's someone she must know, especially considering she's not used to using a cell phone.
But we were together all day yesterday. I don't think she added another person's phone number then. Could it be Valkyrie?
Shimon? That's about the only thing I can think of. Could she be here as well, despite disappearing on the first day? Kiki, did you try calling Riri?
I did as soon as I received that text.
It didn't go through?
Yes.
Kiki, could you lend me your cell phone? Meito took her cell phone and quickly typed up a text. What happened? See what happens for now. Why not come inside, though, for the time being? Nato went inside with a serious expression on his face. Yuri and Kiki followed by. Am I crazy? This wasn't happening before, right? We didn't have narration before. The moment they sat down in the living room, the phone began to beep. Did you show me your phone, Kiki? Nato looked at her phone. She'll trade info for the notebook. Who will? How would she write this? That is, assuming she actually did. To grab our attention, most likely.
What if Riri actually wrote this, though?
Kiki, there's no way she did. Odin.
Nato-san.
Still not sure. I replied after thinking for a moment. Is it worth losing the notebook over? Right. This was suspect. Ooh, I hit enter too fast. Where's my? Right, this was suspect. The notebook was our trump card. Riri-san must have understood that as well. So let's see how they respond.
The situation isn't natural at all. Assuming Riri did get in contact with Odin.
Kiki wore a grim expression on her face. I tried to reason with her. That would mean she must have texted her, which isn't possible for someone like...
You'd be so sure? As far as I can tell, the buttons are marked with the appropriate letters, and so long as you read the manual, sending it wouldn't be much of an issue. She was using her phone yesterday morning, right? Did she say anything?
I'm not sure.
In that case...
There's no reason to fret about this. Either Riri's sending these texts herself, or someone else is. We just need to figure out how to deal with this situation.
It'll be too late if we don't hurry.
Kiki grumbled. Another text arrived. I think its info will only be able to get in this world, and it can only be gotten from Odin's mouth. It's related to escaping. You can either take this rare opportunity or stay away out of fear. It's a tough one. I thought about it. Info we can only obtain in this world. What could that mean? It's not worth thinking about the first possibility. It just means that Riri's trying to lure us out. But if the second possibility is what's really happening...
Ask about Riri.
Huh?
Please ask if Riri's safe.
Sure. I wanted more time to think, so I decided to send another text. Would either of these options put you in danger? Not that it was a worthwhile question to ask. Couldn't trust the answer regardless. There'd just be a 50% chance we'd calm Kiki down. That was all. Thing of note was what was sent earlier, given it said it can only be gotten from Odin's mouth. It implies that Odin would be the one to actually speak of this information. We really trust what's written in that text, though? Think. How could Riri-san have confronted Odin? Riri-san took a chance, that much was certain. That's what I need to consider. They must have met in order to fulfill some mutual agreement. What I'm curious about is the balance of this deal, though. We might receive information that'll lead to us escaping from Myth. Odin will receive the notebook. Is the notebook really that important? With or without the notebook, I regained my will. That was something that was proven the first time around. If anything, our very will is what Odin should be aiming to eliminate. Right. Why wouldn't she try to remove that from us? Kiki's phone began to ring. I looked at it. I'll be killed either way. It seems I knew too much this time. Forget about me. Bring the notebook. Oh, shit. That text blew away any shred of hope we could have that Riri would be safe. Kiki hung her head as she leaned back into the couch. Meito, if this is true, we need to be very careful. I knew what she was trying to say. Riri-san will be killed because she knew too much. The same could also apply to us. In other words, we could lose the notebook and be immediately killed right after. I wanted to avoid that at all costs. I'm gonna ask to see if we can receive the information before we hand the notebook over. Also, about our safety. Right, let's tear out a couple pages from the notebook. Very carefully, so that they don't notice. That's a good idea. That, at the very least, would guarantee that we could preserve something, whether we return from this with new information or not. So let's... The cell phone wasn't on the table. Kiki was holding it.
This is too much.
Her eyes filled with tears. I gently responded to her. Sorry about Riri, but we have other things we need to consider. For Riri's sake as well.
You'd be so cold. Thinking so calmly. She might die.
Do you want me to grieve over that? Do you want me to go and try to save her when I just end up getting myself killed?
That's not...
Listen, Kiki. We're always right beside death. I've seen your corpse before in the past, for instance.
Stop it.
But holding hopes like that, you're being too unreasonable.
That's not it. I know that. I know what kind of situation we're in.
Kiki glared at Yuri and myself. I'd never seen her angry like that before.
Is death really that simple of a thing? Can you really be that calm watching someone else die like that? That's not right. There are no replacements in real life.
The fact that I didn't really think much of Riri during this whole ordeal, and the fact that I was thinking about how she could be replaced, made Kiki's words all the sharper.
We're not living people right now, but in reality, we're real people. What point would there be if we abandon our conscience in order to return to our previous selves?
I know what you mean, but those words have no meaning in this place.
Then we should try to save her. No, actually, I won't force you. I think I should go myself at the very least. Even if I'm being naive or dumb, I'm still human. I'll put my own life on the line to save Riri.
It's just throwing your life away, and that's true for both the real world and here.
Excuse me.
Kiki stood up from the couch and immediately flew out of the living room. All I could do was watch as Kiki left us. Are you going with her? Going to prioritize that human within you? Throwing your life away for someone else's is something purely driven by one's ego. She repeated herself, as though ruminating on her words from before. But if you can love yourself in spite of that, then your death will have meaning. Yuri. Rip out a few pages so they don't notice, then write down everything that's happened until now. Keep a pen with you at all times, so you can write anything down. Do everything in your power to make sure you don't die. Think. I know. Let's go. It's time to exchange info and get Riri back.
Riri!
Yuri, are you okay? Probably should have trained for this. Just stick it out. Factory isn't that far away.
Riri!
Kiki's breathing was haggard. She seemed to resolve herself before stepping foot in the factory. Into the factory. It was gloomy inside. She couldn't tell if Riri was there. Hello next time.
Riri? Riri!
He shouted, and Riri responded. Kiki, where are Meito and Yuri?
Riri, let's get out of here. I'm more worried about you right now.
I told you not to come here.
Where are you? Let's escape. We should get out of here.
Kiki searched for Riri in the darkness. She noticed someone in the room filled with lockers. She was certain that it was Riri inside.
Riri? Are you there?
Stop it. Kiki, don't open the door. Kiki's phone suddenly began to ring. So, I see you haven't set a ringtone yet.
Who are you?
Someone faced Kiki. The person was holding a cell phone of their own. Kiki recognized the blue phone that person held. Yuri, hurry! We're almost there!
I know. Nice to meet you, Kiki-san. Odin?
That's right. She called herself Odin, and finally meeting her face to face was enough to make Kiki wince. I'm done applying for jobs? Good job, good job! Good job. Welcome in, Angel. Don't open the door. You can't. Wait for Meito and Yuri. They'll definitely come. Riri warned Kiki. Kiki's feelings had nothing to do with Myth. She didn't have it in her to abandon her sister. Kiki ignored Odin.
Riri, why? Why do you want them? They only want information. They think it's okay if you die for it.
It's natural. You're the one who's wrong here, Kiki.
You're telling me to prioritize that information over you? Even though I'm your younger sister?
Riri will be reborn.
That's not the point!
You're weak. Just like someone else from the last loop.
What does that mean?
I guess you're just a fake existence.
I had high hopes for you, but... huh?
Leave now. The world you desire isn't here.
What do you mean?
You'll no longer be able to live with your sister. Kiki, I'm gonna die regardless. The moment you open that door.
Riri.
Kiki, listen. I still can't return.
Huh?
I learned all of this.
And now I know. My soul. I have no idea what you mean. You're different, though. You can return. Are you saying I should abandon you? I can't do that! Hello, Ed. How's it going? Kiki, I have to hand over this videotape to Meito and Yuri. Why? You're lying. You're all just tricking me. Kiki, it has to be it. You're not gonna die. Right, Riri? You've always been with me. You've always been so kind. We can't go back home together? Why? Why not? Kiki, stop. I don't want you to open that door. I don't want you to see me like this. Still lying. I know. You're all just being silly. Kiki, don't do it. I don't believe you. Yuri. We made it. Let's go. We steeled ourselves as we went inside. The factory was filled with the scent of blood. Yuri found a small figure amidst that, under the moonlight. You're too late. You're Odin? Odin was tiny. What? Huh? Is it not Shimon? What's going on? Oh, Valkyrie was Shimon. Like a child, a toddler, a baby. What's going on? This is no different from Yuri Yamagami returning to her old self. Her body exists as an 18-year-old high school student. At the same time, I exist as a 0-year-old. That means... Yes. I was born in the year 2022, or 2002. You remember? Yuri Yamagami? The girl you met. 14 years later. 14 years later? 14 years old. No way. Didn't I say it's been a while since we last met? Who the fuck? Hold on. 14. Huh? But that's just... Okay, they're not even the right age. Who? Who? Oh, is this the parents' friend that they're helping out just had a kid? Is that it? Happy birthday, Odin. Dabavi. You can't be serious. Yuri, what's going on? What is she? It means the person behind all of this was someone very close to you. Papa. Papa? Hand over the notebook. Give us the information first. And where are Riri and Kiki? What the what? Hold on. What? Hello, Chilean. Huh? What? Kiki showed up. The look on her face was lifeless. Kiki? Just gazed up at the ceiling as she held out a videotape. Kiki? What happened? Leave her alone. She witnessed the death of someone very important to her. Odin? And now she knows the truth behind myth. Explain. Myth. What is myth? Why would anyone do this? Tell me. Kill me. Myth is heaven, a utopia where everyone can live in happiness. Heaven? You desire something else, though. Leave this utopia and return to reality. That's why this world has become hell. Meito, did you take Uni-chan's? No shot! What? Do you remember from the first from hold on, I'll pull up her sprite and then where is she? Where is she? Hold on. Uni. Okay. Check this shit out. Do you remember her? That's Uni. That's that girl they found. I forget why she showed up in a later loop. So she's Odin?
I guess? Okay? Yeah, it's okay. It's an open notebook test. Huh. Okay. Alright. Chuuni? She's gone, even though I put her to bed earlier. She is! She's the daughter! She's the daughter. So, okay, Odin and Chuuni are the daughter of the employee that his parents are helping out. Okay? Right. For some reason, she's calling Meito Papa, too, which is a bit difficult. Anyway. Are you okay? You've seen her before. Ichi-san's baby.
Kill me. Kill me. Someone, kill me.
Kill me. What?! Unlike the pain inside of me, my consciousness was quite clear as I gazed at the concrete. Am I gonna die? Even such dramatic words came to mind for whatever reason. It was all too funny. The stalks of the morning glory I tended to look at once in a while seemed to be considerably longer than usual. It's like something out of Gulliver's Travels. Swift couldn't depict the sky quick enough, though. I gazed at the gray clouds born from smokestacks, and a very real pain soon assailed my body. I was almost in tears. The sound of insects and the clamor of the election vehicles weren't even audible. I couldn't make out the difference between the clouds and that darkness. Pain was like a sponge, sucking up anything and everything precious to me. Before long, it snatched away even my consciousness. Even the bit of warmth from someone I felt in my right hand. What the fuck did this girl do to her? So warm. So tender. Something warm and viscous seemed to envelop me. I may have smoked during this stream, and I feel like that was an awful idea. This is the wrong game to do any kind of drugs during. I struggled, re-established harmony. That something rubbed me the wrong way. I kicked my feet. That something took no issue with that, though, as it carried me elsewhere. Where are you taking me? That something didn't respond. It was like its very existence was within me. All I could do was entrust myself to his will, his blood. What the fuck is going on? This being guided me to the light. A space with no center, no left, no right. The light was the only point of reference positionally. The light continued to mutter something. Hello, Fulgor. Hope you're doing well. Being of light? Wait! Fuck. Okay. Refresh me. The being of light, is that what they called Meito? Or is that the owner of the voice that he was looking for? I don't know. Fuck. Okay, we'll figure it out. I heard it clearly that time. I think that's Meito? Okay. The darkness seemed to shed from the sky like an open curtain. It was a mysterious inevitability. That's Yuri! Who are you? I asked that of somebody with my own face. What? Me, you, the world, time? Was that their answer, or were they merely muttering to themselves? I didn't know. I asked them something else instead. What happened to me? This is all so sudden. So confused. Trying to become one. Become one? Look around. Children on a merry-go-round. Yuni's mother went missing in Myth, and she said she went to the amusement park without me, even though I wanted to go. I think that's what she said. We're at an amusement park. There's a merry-go-round. Remember, she's like, oh, it's over the mountain. It's on the other side of the mountains. Okay. Children on a merry-go-round. Father's looking after them. The roller coaster. The strangely shaped bathroom. The sleepy receptionist. The trees. The sky. And me. Me. They're all you. Beings of light. Beings of shadow. A natural state where they coexist. An inevitability where they are one. How foolish. You should know the truth. What's that supposed to mean? That these desires have no end. What? The world I saw next was composed of physical darkness. I could make out the white bed and some shelves in the moonlight. I didn't move my body, but instead my eyes. A hospital room. Realizing that I was in one calmed my nerves. You awake? And soon I heard someone's brusque-sounding voice. Edogawa, why are you? I wanted to hear your voice all of a sudden. You'd collapsed, so I was shocked. Jokes pain me. Edogawa laughed. He was trying to make me feel better. He was doing a horrible job of it. There's something I forgot to tell you about, so I dropped by your place. Could have just called. Someone could be listening to that, though. I wanted to question you a little. So what was it you forgot to tell me? Well, personally, I'm thinking you're innocent. Edogawa snickered. Are we not gonna talk about Yukihime doing something bloody at her door? I gazed at the moon through the window. I couldn't hear Edogawa. He must have been looking at the moon as well. Who stabbed you? Oh, okay. Yukihime. The girl we went to college with, remember? That ditz? I'd have laughed if it weren't for the pain in my stomach. Why? That's what I want to know. I can tell you there's something strange about her now, though. Edogawa's silence signaled his curiosity. I gazed at the ceiling as I went on. Joined some weird cult, apparently. She was trying to recruit me. I'm shocked she did this, though. Hoinkyo? I think it was something like that. Edogawa hung his head, a grave look on his face. When she stabbed me, Yuki said someone asked her to do it, and that she wouldn't be able to get something otherwise. Would that have anything to do with this Hoinkyo? It's better not to know. Getting involved with them is forbidden. I tightly gripped Edogawa's shirt, because he was trying to brush it off. Tell me, what is Hoinkyo? Is it them that made Yuki stab me? Probably. It's the best explanation for why she'd stab you out of nowhere. Edogawa brushed away my hands and picked up his suit jacket. Anyway, relax for a while. The hospital's safe, so take it easy. Wait! The door opened before Edogawa got to it. Someone else opened it. I turned to look and found it was a young girl. Who are you? Don't have time to look after you forever. She's taking my place. When Edogawa patted her on the back, she reacted by bowing.
I'm Uni. Thanks for always helping my uncle out.
There you have it. She's my sister's daughter. FN Uni. Weird FN, huh? Oh, first name Uni. Weird, what the fuck?
Stop making fun of me, Uncle. You know what my real name is.
The girl said, laughing. I silently smiled along with her. Thanks, but I don't need all this attention. You've got no parents or significant others. For someone alone like you, I think she's the best visitor you can hope for. Edogawa said it sarcastically, but if he'd been serious, I wouldn't have been able to disagree. Uni, contact me if something happens. With that, Edogawa left the hospital room. Huh? Huh? 4:34 a.m. in the blue locker room. One locker stood out among those. Oh! It was crimson. It held what was once Riri. Yuri, I'll clean this up. You should wait in the break room. Felt a disturbance in the air. I wasn't sure whether that was the result of Yuri's footsteps or Kiki sobbing by the entrance. I didn't know. I couldn't take my eyes off that corpse. I found a bag and began to stuff the hunks of flesh inside of it. I folded her legs up, shoved her still twitching organs inside, snapped her fingers and bones, and put all of those things inside of the bag. Riri-san gazed at me in the garbage. She was nothing but a head now. Seeing her lifeless pupils made me recall a swallowtail butterfly specimen. Many forms of death. A weak girl's death, an elderly senile person's death, a soldier's death on the battlefield. Graphic end results of those deaths are often omitted in entertainment. That wasn't the case here. Anyway, it was heavy. Hello, Adam. How's it going? I forgot how gruesome this game is. I don't know how, because it's constantly gruesome, but... So, what? I muttered to myself as I shouldered that bag. Everyone dies. I wasn't speaking to anyone in particular. So... What? I wasn't even sure what I was trying to say. So... Well... All I could do was spit out those words of disgust from the depths of my dry throat. What? Wasn't this always going to be the case, though? Didn't I know that? This was inevitable. No one was at fault. It was Myth's fault. Myth was at fault here. That's right. It's Myth's fault that this is happening to me. I didn't do anything wrong. I'm normal. I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do. Myth was at fault. So, I dug a hole over and over and over and over and over and over. I dug over and over and over and over and over and over. I dug. Feel like I missed the big reveal? No, Odin is a baddie in 2002. She is, the little black-haired girl? No, that's Starmie. Hold on. This girl from Myth. And she's the one causing problems, I guess? Hello, what? I don't know. And now Riri is dead in this loop. That's what I'm saying! That's what's implied. No, she was really nice in Myth. Because the baby is like, oh, Yuri, remember I was 14 when we last met. And then it jumps forward to 2016, and she meets Uni, same name, who is 14. So she's Odin, I guess? Anyway, Riri is dead in this loop now. Kiki's mind broken. Yuri's waiting, I think. We don't know where Odin is, and Mato's cleaning up and burying Riri's body, or what's left of it, I guess. I'm not it. Maybe I'm at, just maybe I'm at, no, Myth's natural phenomena, trying to come to grips with someone's death. No, so cold-blooded. No, a corpse. No, can a corpse really be that easily disposed of? No. Was I abnormal? No. No, that couldn't be right. I had to rid myself of any lingering emotions. Hello, Armored. Then, I headed home. I saw someone's figure under the streetlights. They almost seemed like a mirage to me. The faint sunlight from the rising sun cast down upon them. Have you calmed down? The crazy person with tears in their eyes and a smile on their face just ignored me. In reality, she was the most sane among us. You see, I wanted to rid myself of those emotions, so I decided to detail what her corpse looked like. Oh my god! A straight line across her neck, a giant, almost artistic hole where her head once was. It wasn't hard to imagine how that result was produced. I had already been sick of seeing these things. I'd gone mad, and her own madness was but a representation of that ethereal spectacle. I knew that much just from reading about what happened during the last time around, so it was easy to imagine how that happened. That's why I had no particular interest in that. Are you okay? But I couldn't help myself from asking her that question. I wanted to know the reason behind that madness, though, because even I didn't understand. She's still on edge, or just laughing as she reminisced about Riri. I had no means of knowing the truth.
Was I too naive?
It almost seemed like she was telling me some kind of funny story. That was the kind of expression she had on her face.
I knew this day would come. I really did. But I still couldn't endure it.
It was as though her own wounds were laughing alongside her. Reality surpassed her imagination. That's all there is to it. I've had it happen before as well.
Reality. I guess so.
Kiki giggled once again, as though she'd seen through everything.
Being unable to die. most unpleasant thing in the world.
She traced her finger along those wounds. It was fascinating, but at the same time almost seemed self-deprecating.
But you were able to recover from this, even bearing these wounds. You're strong.
You can recover from this as well. Really? Did I truly believe that?
It's impossible.
The tone of her voice was far removed from the one she usually had.
Even if Riri died this time around. Yeah. Even if Riri dies next time. Someone will have to be sacrificed, so long as we continue to stand against Myth. I can't stand it. I just want to be with Riri. I'll continue to search for a particular fate, one I can find totally acceptable. Love, to forgive, to compromise. Find some peace. Even if that only lasts for a brief moment. Even if that's fake. I still think that's what I need to do.
She muttered to herself, her eyes vacant as she gazed up at the sky. Her answer was for her to abandon her will. It was total and utter admittance of defeat on her part. She still wanted to find false peace, even after accepting Myth. Okay, so, what if Riri and So went to Myth voluntarily? Because Yuri said all that shit about, like, oh, forgetting is the only solace God gives you in this world when you run into things that are unavoidably painful. You should just forget stuff. And Odin said something about Myth being, like, the only place where everything can be happy or something, which also doesn't really check out because Myth is pretty fucked up on its own. So have they been doing this like forever then? I don't. Okay, anyway, she's theorizing. But I don't run away. I was filled with an indescribable rage.
I'm not running away. Think about it. This is a simple problem. Nothing bad will happen if we don't resist. So even if the resulting happiness is fake, it's still happiness. Right?
I'm saying makes sense, right? I'm not wrong, right? It was like I could hear her saying that to me. You're wrong. So we should compromise and do nothing just so we can be happy? That's so stupid. That's really dumb. Desires are subjective. You'll never be happy if you don't think you're actually happy. There's no such thing as an objective desire.
There is. That's what I wish for. A subjective viewpoint to desire objective happiness.
Kiki, what was the point of trying so hard this entire time? You're right that you have your own subjective viewpoint, but that's not all. Riri is there too. Don't you have a reason to return to your home? Don't you have friends and a future of your own? Let me say this once again. By accepting Myth, you're just running away. You're abandoning not only your own world, but Riri, and your happiness with everyone else there. All you're doing is running away. Her eyes were wet with tears. She almost seemed to be looking for something to cling to. All she did was glare at me, as though trying to get something through to me. Then, finally,
Tanabe-san is strong. That's why you can think like that.
It seemed like her madness had finally vanished. Like she had reached some philosophical enlightenment. The look she had in her eyes suggested she had come to some conclusion, as she gently smiled at me.
And I have my own way of fighting back.
Huh?
And that is to wait. That's why I'll...
She turned her back to me. I could no longer see her face. I felt like I wouldn't ever again. That was the premonition I had. Wait! My words caught in my throat, though. All I had to do was say wait. Then I'd be able to keep her here. Or at the very least, that increased my chances of doing so. Chances. What chances? To lead her in the right direction? Was that truly the right choice? Did she possess a firm will to exist as a human? Was that really so wrong? And was that evident in her words? In her very eyes? Wait. Wait! I wasn't sure what, but you're gonna... I couldn't help myself from calling out to her. Just end up cooperating with us again. And feeling the same things once again. Isn't that pointless? Isn't that just a waste of time? Kiki's retreating figure almost seemed to be wrapped in a mirage. Kiki, look beyond this despair. Look at the final destination we seek. Happiness is waiting for us there. Just believe in that. Trust me. And trust yourself. She didn't turn around, though. I continued. I'm not gonna compromise. That's why you won't... you won't experience the kind of peace you desire. Shouting like that made me aware of the seams that existed deep within my heart. Why did I want to know the reason behind her madness? Perhaps I just wanted her to reject my very self. Kiki! Kiki! Hello, Nana. Welcome, welcome. She never turned around, though. The surroundings were once again quiet. Mato. Kiki is... I just passed by her. Neither of us spoke up after that. Hello, Pepito. Yuri might have sensed it. She might have known the conclusion that Kiki reached. I buried the corpse in a nearby forest. I buried her pretty deep, so no one should notice. I washed away all the blood and such in the locker room, too. The smell should probably fade away by morning. We'll be fine. I sat on the couch after I explained everything to Yuri. I heard someone giggle beside me. Yuni Ichi. She was lying down on the couch. So funny.
Nothing.
She couldn't stop giggling, though. Get out of here. Telling a swaddled baby, get out of here, is really, really funny.
Oh? Why?
Yuri. Did you contact my mom and dad? I ignored Odin as I asked Yuri that. I did. I just said you were being selfish, and they were alright with it. Thanks. I glared at Odin. So, there you have it. Yuri will take you back home.
And if I refuse?
I'll probably lose my cool. I'm kind of running out of patience. If you do refuse, I'll beat your body against the floor, rip your nails out, pull your limbs off, cut up your arms, and make you suffer like we have. That seems like the only thing I could possibly do now that I'm at my breaking point. I promise you I'll do that.
That's funny.
Yuri, I'll leave the rest to you. I'm gonna check out this video.
Alright.
Yuri picked Odin up. Seeing Yuri put a blanket around her was unpleasant. Jesus Christ. You should give her the whole move voice. No! As the sound of her footsteps faded away, it made me realize that things were finally settling down. I leaned against the couch. My phone was in my pocket. I reflexively removed it. It was still early morning. I wasn't tired, just fatigued. I wanted the couch to consume my entire being.
Hanabe-san is strong.
Damn it. Oh, did you see those quotes? Hold on. Check that shit out. We got a double. Kiki. Kiki's thoughts. Isn't all of that actually human? And what about me? What about my thoughts? Have I become stronger at a glance, but colder? The more I've become accustomed to myth? Is that it? Or not? When you eat a steak, I muttered to myself, are you foolish enough to ever imagine the cow being slaughtered? I tried to justify my actions. What's more important? Some war in a far-off country or a date with your girlfriend? The date, right? It was as though I were searching for an equilibrium in this world. As though I were confirming that equilibrium. I'm sane. As though I were shaking away any thoughts I might have had. As I leaned towards the VCR and turned it on, I had to calm down. Best prescription for that was to find a solution for our problems. The screen didn't change after I pressed the play button, though. The tape couldn't have been damaged, could it? I fast-forwarded. Oh god, is that the Myth Forest? Motherfucker? A grainy image began to play after a bit. No, not yet. The video seemed particularly old, and it was tough to make out anything, both visually and orally. Hey, are you listening? The one voice was louder than the other voice, and background noise, though. It must have been the person who was filming. Once we reach the top of this hill, we'll be past the foot of the mountain. I heard a voice from the distance in the video as well. I recognized this voice. Man, all this on my day off. Meito, how's uni? She probably needs her diaper changed. No shot. No fucking shot. Is this a damn home movie? With Papa Meito and Mama Yuri and Baby Uni? Let me see. Don't be stupid, Meito. Let me look. What a dumb father, right, Uni? Does she hate me? Meito Tanabe. There's no doubt about it. He must be Odin's father. No, I couldn't be so sure yet. Still felt a little off. This Meito Tanabe seemed very assured of himself. What did that mean? Only the character Meito Tanabe acted like that. I will stop showing, but thank you, Wishy. The real me, though. Film it right, Ryoko. Is the name of the parent's coworker. You do it, dear. Meito Tanabe took over the camera. Meito filmed the person who was speaking. What?! Huh?! This is Ichi. Ryoko Ichi. She was tall and had long black hair. She had a radiant smile upon her face. It reminded me of Riri-san. I could think about this more later. Right now I had to focus on their conversation. Wait, this is dated... This is dated 2002 November? Look. The me in the video pointed at the scenery. I recognized it. It was very close to me until recently. It was unpleasant. It looked just like that village. We really are in the sticks. Who knew there was a village out here? They're around if you look for them. We're almost there. 2002, Meito's parents are helping out Ryoko, who's an employee at their company, raise their baby because her boyfriend disappeared. So Meito is the father of that baby, and he also disappeared somewhere, and they don't know where. Dad Meito disappeared. Okay. They're around if you look for them. We're almost there. Meito. I met Ryoko Ichi. You what?! I did too, in the video. What's going on? Riri's your wife? And Odin's your child? I'm so confused. I am too. Alright, itchy. Anyway, sit down. The video's still going. Yuri sat down in a chair in silence. And then we focused on the screen again. Where are they headed? Shadow Village. Well, maybe not, but they're heading someplace that looks like it. I saw it a little bit ago. Want me to rewind? No. Could you stop it instead? I paused it. Look at the date. November 24th, 2002. I took my cell phone out. What the fuck? But he's already gone! What? Hold on. I feel like conspiracy-ridden Always Sunny, man. I'm pointing at the damn linked theories. I'm pointing at my conspiracy board. That means this videotape didn't exist at this point in time in Myth. And that this is something Odin possessed. Why would Odin have this? She must have always been holding on to it. It's like how she still exists in Myth. So it's the same logic behind the notebook? That's the only explanation. I hit play on the VCR again. The tape soon began to showcase new scenery. Bitch, that's old scenery! Hello, Senpa. Beyond the mountain was... the Shadow Village. These grasslands. There was no doubt about it. Fresh air, verdant grasslands, boundless nature. It had to be the Shadow Village. That's right. This is the Village of Shadows. There was no office, no Yuri, no Kiki. What?!
You came here in a previous life and said this to Ryoko Ichi. That this is our homeland.
Odin?
No, and Valkyrie.
Didn't Valkyrie disappear? How could she have appeared in a world that was supposed to What the fuck are you talking about? It doesn't matter. Either way, you're still my enemy.
I have to wonder about that.
She continued. She gazed at the sky with a mysterious smile upon her face.
This is our homeland. Do you remember saying that?
She pelted me with questions. How could I? I wasn't going to play along with her question and answer session. Even if I tried to ask her the reason she asked me that, I wouldn't get a straight answer. We haven't seen her blinking? Really? In that case, it's probably some fake memory you put in my mind. How could I ever remember that? It'd be more productive to try and get information out of her.
I wonder about that.
What do you mean?
Which do you think it is? Which is the real you? That you, or this you?
That's obvious. It's me.
The correct answer is both.
Both?
That's right.
Wait, the village is only for dead people. Plus, it's part of a fictional world. How can that fictional world ever cross with the real world? Answer me.
You're an exception.
What's that supposed to mean?
Simply put, you're still the protagonist. That's right, the protagonist.
I know that.
I didn't know that.
Huh?
Was it written in the notebook? I was shocked when I saw you during the last time around. I had no idea why a passerby was walking on his own. At the very least, I haven't brought you into myth.
Then, why am I...
Do you believe this is reality? Do you believe these grasslands you've been moved to are real?
Obviously not.
Correct. But the truth is, that's true for your reality too. It's but a dream, just like these grasslands.
Hello, Gorian. How's it going? What are you trying to say?
The truth you seek can't be found in the world you're currently in. That's what I'm trying to say. You shouldn't be here in this village of shadows. That's why a reality was produced where you shouldn't actually exist.
I mean, I was isolated?
Right.
So, I'm supposed to exist in accordance with the flow of the plot? Why is that?
Look at the notebook. Days 17 and 19 last time around. You don't have the notebook right now, obviously, but you can confirm it for yourself later.
Do I not? Oh my god. Wait. Hold on. Huh. Papa. This game is a trip. It's more than a trip. It's the kind of shit you hear about where people try it once and then they're gone for years at a time.
Days 17 and 19 last time around.
Oh yeah. Are you telling me to trust you?
You'll continue looping forever if you don't. Didn't you say something like this to Kiki? About repeating the same mistake over and over again? That same thought can be applied to you, Meito Tanabe.
So you were eavesdropping. It's a nasty thing to do.
All I did was look at my pets inside their cage. There's nothing wrong with that.
I don't understand. You're supposed to be our enemy, aren't you?
Look at this.
Huh? Who's that?
Just a scribble I drew in the plot.
What? Oh, that's... Yes. Okay, I remember this. That's something Shimon did.
All this means for you is that it symbolizes this other world's existence, though. But that's enough for now. Meito, if you want to return to your world, then aim for the next chance to get the plot back on track.
Chance? Track? You mean here?
That's right. Back to this dream world.
How?
You'll have the opportunity to return on the 10th day this time around.
10th day.
Also, if you see Mate Tanabe within the story, please kill him.
Is he gonna reincarnate as Berserker? Why?
Are you against that?
Well,
They're just scraps of paper. The real you is the one right here, right now. Am I wrong? It's a necessary action for you to return to your world. You have no choice.
but
Anyway, I don't want to spend too much time chatting with you since we're in the midst of the plot, so... See ya.
hang on. There's still so much I want to ask you about.
I told you everything I wanted to. The rest is up to you.
Huh? Huh? Berserker met Valkyrie after eating his mom. Yeah.
See ya.
Wait! The lights were off. The screen was once again filled with static. The room was dark. The scrambled screen served as my only guide as I searched around for the light switch. No one was in the lobby. I didn't see Yuri or my mom and dad. I looked at the clock. 5:45 a.m. 30 minutes. Only 30 minutes had passed. It felt appropriate time-wise, but where did Yuri go? Took out my cell phone and called her. This game's a mess. It's not answering. Where could she have gone? That's all I can do is wait for her to call me. I lay down on the couch. My body felt heavier than before. I ruminated on the words Shimon, Valkyrie, said. Kill myself? Oh, brother. We'll probably go for 3 hours today because I gotta stream again later. But we got like 15 more minutes. Oh, big stretch. The light seeping through the curtains told me the morning had finally come. The giant clock we call the sun was like a representation of my hospital life, following the same routine every day. Hiro-san, your checkup for today seems to be scheduled for the afternoon. Maybe Edogawa was right. Spending some time resting could do me some good. Thanks, Uni-chan. Oh, okay. The girl named Uni, Edogawa's niece, was looking after me again that morning. She'd come before she went to school in the morning, then returned from the time school was out to when meeting hours ended. Uni was devoted to assisting me. Will you get to school on time? She was 14, still taking compulsory education. Yet she was here every morning, as early as she could come in. I wondered if she found it to be a bother.
Yes, if I run at least.
I looked at her unyielding smile. She was like something out of a painting. Mindful of the bed, she began to organize the messily placed magazines on their rack. I can clean it up myself. Go to school, Uni-chan.
But you're...
Her hand sorted the magazines like magic. The way she organized them by size and thickness was more care than I deserved. Nothing to worry about. I may have been stabbed by a kitchen knife, but sorting magazines is easy. Okay?
That's not it. Uncle said you're bad at organizing things, so I should do it for you.
Damn you, Edogawa. Sounds like you're looking down on me. I'll be fine. Just go. She said but again, then stopped herself. I assumed because she thought needless conversation would be bad for my injury. That's the kind of girl she is. After spending enough time with her, I was able to make such assumptions. Okay.
Okay, I'll leave the rest to you.
Uni-chan said before she left like the wind. Shut up, Lepedo. Good girl. I closed my eyes and whispered. I wasn't particularly cognizant of what I said. Once my mind steadied itself in the darkness, I thought about it again. A good girl. She really was. Uni-chan talked about Edogawa often. She talked about her mother often. She talked about school often. Whatever she was talking about, she always seemed to be enjoying herself. Before you've experienced much tragedy, you can get enjoyment out of anything. I assume that's the stage of life she was in. She was a talkative, innocent girl. The way she behaved made me able to smile at anything she said. Just talking to her made me feel younger somehow. I started organizing the magazines on the stand. As it turns out, my organization does suck. I felt like I would only damage the work that's already been done. Either way, I had to get it sorted before she got back. Then I'll show at Ogawa. And this will be the day I look like someone who cares about being tidy. Hiro-san, I hate to say that. Oh,
Hiro-san, I hate to say this, but why not keep your room a little cleaner?
does it bother you?
Yes, the cleaner the better, I would say.
Oh. It was afternoon. The doctor who came for my checkup murmured. Okay. Probably better not to admit the truth. If the doctor knew this was the result of me cleaning, I don't know what he'd do. Now, about your health. The doctor moved to the main topic. Your stomach injury isn't too serious. There shouldn't be any significant lasting problems. Still, keep resting until the wound's fully closed. Then the day's checkup ended. It was largely the same as it was the previous day. The result being that I had to stay put in the hospital for a while to make sure the wound wouldn't open. How long until you think I can leave? 2 or 3 weeks, most likely. That estimate could change later, but that's what it looks like now. This doctor certainly likes to wait and see. Well, I suppose most doctors are that way. In any case, it sounded like this boring period of my life would go on for a while longer. We shall meet again in a reality no one can violate? The chirping of the insects. The silhouette of the mountain against the backdrop of the setting sun. Peaceful. Dream. A dream. This is a dream. Shimon's house. A place that doesn't exist. Is anyone there? I muttered to myself. Neither Shimon, nor Riri, nor So, or Kiki, nor Yuri were there, despite the fact that they should be on that stage. Oh, should be on this stage. Shuh. I heard a voice at my knees. It wasn't a shadow. It was a human girl. Who are you? She didn't respond. Tears streamed down her cheeks. Tiny droplets of tears formed in her eyelashes. Why are you crying? I stopped myself from asking her that, though. I noticed her gaze. Her gaze was fixed upon something.
Oh, hi, Maya. What? Here.
Oh, she's sitting under the desk. Bet she hears the construction people. Wants to be near me to be comforted. Baby. The large mountains in the distance. Boundless greenery. Greenery eventually gave way to orange sky. It's a strange scene. Perhaps it wasn't that strange at all. Maybe I just wasn't used to seeing nature like this. I felt something at my knee. The girl was poking it. I looked down at her. She held her right hand out. What's this? Huh? It's a long piece of wood. You're giving this to me? Didn't Uni have a whistle before? Isn't that something that we saw already? Or it was like it was a town, like, item that got stolen, I think? I forget why it was important or what it did. You're giving this to me? She nodded. I held my hands out. I began to open her hand when... Dream. I wasn't gonna let that word explain everything. I couldn't help but think as much as I gazed at the piece of wood in my— What?! In my right hand. It was far too realistic for this to be just a dream. I took my cell phone out and checked the date. Someone called me then, and I answered. Good timing. Mato, where are you? The dial tone soon gave way to Yuri's voice. Why didn't you answer? Called you a number of times already. I didn't know that. I was sleeping. I tried to justify why I didn't answer, but I continued nonetheless. Well, not exactly just sleeping, but... What do you mean? Yuri, you have the pages we tore out of the notebook, right? Yeah, what about it? Could you return them to me? Let's meet at the diner. Did you have a dream? Yeah. Explain it to me. It was a dream set in the world of shadows. It'd be quicker if you just looked at this. I took the old whistle out of my backpack. What's this? The girl in that world gave it to me. Girl? Yeah, she seemed even younger than Sol. She had a body though, so I don't think she was that Hibiki girl. Did you recognize her? I tried to think of what she looked like. She was very small. Probably about 3 to 5 years old. She was wearing rather standard Western clothing. I didn't recognize her though. Yeah. No. When I went to look up Yuni's character sprite, I found the mom's name is Kotomi. I replied to Yuri after I thought about it. Hi, Miss Taka. Hello, Marie. I hope you're doing well. So what's the relation between her and the notebook? That's something different. That was just one of the dreams I had. What do you mean? I had another dream yesterday, too. Valkyrie was in it. Valkyrie? She told me that there was no meaning in me being here. She said to look at the notebook pages for days 17 and 19 from the last time around. That's why I wanted to see the notebook. I don't really get it, but... She pulled out the piece of notebook from her bag. Could you explain in more detail? I took the piece of paper as I replied yes. Let's look at what happened on days 17 and 19. 17th, Riri brought me to the gate. 19th, brought Riri to the gate, me, as part of the story. The gate is the only common thing that both entries note. Gate doesn't exist here in Tokyo. A note was written at the end of the flowchart detailing the inconsistencies between the 17th and 19th days. What could that mean? I tried to think about it. Day 17 and 19, Riri-san and I went to the gate. Gate. Why would Odin have us do that in the story? She must have known that we'd both regained our will at that point. Was there some reason why she had to make us go to the gate? One idea came to mind. I looked through each entry for every day that was written about in my notebook. Day 15, I regained my will and began to write down what was happening. I see. In broad terms, the majority of the story just focused on the everyday stuff. Was it really necessary for us to see the gate? The answer is no. It's not consistent with the plot. It's an inconsistency. If this is the same inconsistency Meito spoke of last time, then... Yuri, you might be right. Yeah? By that, I mean, Tokyo right now, in the year 2002, exists as a result of myth's own autonomy. There's a greater possibility that's actually true. In other words? Let's make a diagram. I took out a napkin and began to draw a diagram on it. Oh my god. We went to look at the gate. I felt that was too sudden. Meaning that Riri-san and I were doing something before we went to the gate. Based on the entry from the previous day, it was probably just our usual everyday activities. Otherwise, the act of going to the gate wouldn't be an inconsistency. Right. People are gonna be like, what's this game about? I'm just gonna point to this. Gestures. Good game. High quality game. In which case, someone intended for us to either go to the gate or act out that everyday stuff. Neither Riri-san nor I did either of our own will. So, are there two authors? There's either two authors, or there's one author that's making edits to the story. I think. Maybe. Meaning a third person. Oh, excuse me, a third author. Or Myth's own autonomy produced it. That's why your conjecture seems more likely now. Think about it. We were driven by the plot the entire time we were in the Shadow Village. That wasn't strictly the case once we arrived in Tokyo, though. We had our own sense of movement and time. We weren't forced to move around like the scene changes obligated us to, either. A third author has hit the incomprehensible visual novel. This goes beyond just conjecture. It's almost certain that myth can change the world of its own will. So this is something more like a theory. Yeah. So, what about that? It means... I pointed at the paper from the notebook again. Which of these two events was produced by Myth's own autonomy? It has to be the gate event. Right. Going to the gate is out of character for both of them. Meaning going to the gate was something that Odin didn't want to happen. What? Wait, how'd you come to that conclusion? Hold on. Okay. Another inconsistency that's been lingering about came to mind, though. And? What's the main difference between the gates of Tokyo and this Tokyo? There's no difference, but something's concerning. My parents, right? Right. There's a significant difference between your parents that you saw in the gate and your parents that we've seen here. Oh, when he went to the gate, is that where he saw the Sunset Railroad crossing? Have a good night, Emily. Thanks for hanging out. Yashu. Right. Just look at the notebook. There's something written here concerning what appears to be my past. But there's something important that's missing from my parents. A reason to invite you to Myth. Right, my parents brought me to Myth. But there was nothing like that this time around. There's no reason behind my existence here. The reason why I came to Myth is unknown, given we lack information concerning the gates Tokyo. What? The difference between the gates Tokyo and this one. It means that, inevitably, this Tokyo is different from the one I lived in. So this is a different Tokyo born from Myth's autonomy? That's what it seems like. I sighed. This was confusing. Anyway, a particular image is beginning to form. And what's that? The Meito in the video spoke differently than I do, like the way the character Meito does. In addition, my parents in this world thought it was strange that I called them Papa and Mama. It means that it's likely the Meito Tanabe in the video is from this world. That would make the most sense consistency-wise. This world and myself. Okay. Thank you. Yes. All right. This Meito is Myth's Meito, and he's replaced the video and 2002 Tokyo Meito. Okay, yes. Yeah, Mythto versus Meito. I took a sip from my cup after I finished explaining. So when she said you're the protagonist, she didn't mean that Meito, she meant this Meito. Okay. Yes. Yuri spoke up after I finished drinking about half the water in it. Then there's no point in us being here. She muttered what Valkyrie said before. So why hasn't it been erased? Why hasn't this unrelated world been erased from existence? It's an inconsistency. Yuri looked through the paper from the notebook. Myth's autonomy produced the event of you and Riri going to the gate. Did that cover only just go— Sorry, Maya's slinking through the wires behind my computer. I'm watching her. You're so pretty, kitty. Hi. He's investigating. Okay. Myth's autonomy produced the event of you and Riri going to the gate. That cover only just going to see the gate, though? What do you mean? Wasn't there something else after that? Wouldn't Myth's autonomy produce another event following that? I love to slink. Let's find out. The 17th followed plot 1 and 2. The 18th followed plot 1 and a scene under our control. The 19th followed plot 1 and 2. 20th followed plot 1 and a scene under our control. Look at this. Yuri pointed at a particular part of the notebook. What Riri-san saw in the gate. You wrote that you should have asked what disturbed Riri. That was indeed what it said, but... Meaning you asked her something, but it was against your will. Something that had nothing to do with her being upset. Meaning... What? Wait! Ho. If you think of it as like a mechanism of sorts, it means you were within the writer's scenario. At least until we arrived in Tokyo. Then the people controlling this can erase this world. Yet despite that, they haven't. Then why does this world exist? When you had that dream yesterday, Yuri questioned me with a meek look upon her face. Was it when you were watching that videotape at Tanabe Optics Research? What? Huh? The look on her face suggested she had expected as much, like a mystery had just been solved. Yuri stood up from her seat. It was like she had a handle on everything. What the fuck? Hold on. The videotape was one that he watched at home. Wait, where are you going? I'm heading home. Maybe I'll watch some out-of-print movie or something. I quickly downed the rest of my drink. Hold on, we're not done talking yet. Maid Tanabe was here in this world before the plot went off track. Huh? In other words, that was likely the Meito who was supposed to be in the story. Maid Tanabe was here? Then what about what Valkyrie said? I wonder if what Valkyrie said was merely a trap, or merely goodwill? She left some money on the table and stood up after muttering that. Well, you probably are planning on returning to the story, right? You see Maid Tanabe within the story. Please kill him. It was uneasy. Valkyrie's words were inconsistent. I said what I wanted. The rest is up to you. I'm gonna do it. The coin would be tossed, and it would either be heads or tails. I couldn't just turn around and run away from this bet. I have no choice but to believe her. Right. We can't turn back now. Yuri gazed at me. The look in her eyes was sharp. Felt like it was gonna overwhelm me. Be honest. You aren't the type capable of hiding things. You must sense it yourself, that something feels off about you. I'm no match for you. You're just easy to understand. This time she finally stood up. I followed her as well. When'd you notice that something felt off about me? Even I could only barely sense it. I thought no one else would be able to. That's how minor it was. When we were on the phone, you said you didn't know that I called. What's the first thing you see when holding a cell phone? That there's been a missed call, or that there's a symbol in the top corner saying so. Usually this is what you'd say after seeing that indication, and me asking if you got my call. Oh, I guess I didn't notice. In addition, what you told me here at this diner, that whoever's behind all this is trying to meet with you. Anything can happen. You could become the boy who let through time. She joked, but what'll happen if I answer the phone? You'd probably meet with the past. What? Although I know how that'll end if you do. Conversation between the me of today and the Yuri of today. This was insane. It's a good thing I contacted you. I was able to hand the notebook pages over before we parted. Right. I was really happy we were able to talk. So, what do you plan on doing? You have 2 more days left. I want to go to Uni Ichi's place. There's something I want to confirm while I'm still here. Yuri said, I see. Be careful. She began to walk away after that. Yuri. I called out to her. I wasn't just longing to spend more time with her. I knew she'd given up. There was nothing else she could do, given we existed on separate axes of time. Everything was pointless. That was precisely why I called out to her, though. She turned around, and... Let's go on a date tomorrow. This was how I wanted to say goodbye. You said you wanted to go to Namja Town, right? Let's go there and have a good time. Let's go to the loft and catch a live show. And after we get all fired up there, we should get something to eat. Then, I didn't finish. I didn't think I should say the rest. So, don't be late. You're usually always late. I don't want to hear that from you at this point. Well, that's fair. We laughed together. It might have been the first time she smiled for me. It brought back memories of her. It made me realize that she really was Yuri Yamagami. Eventually, the real tomorrow would actually come. That's a right given to everyone, so long as we remain human. Even we should be able to find tomorrow in this fake continually looping today. Tomorrow would eventually come. I'd have to go, so that I could meet this person I used to love so much. So I could meet her, even though her personality had changed completely. So I could meet the birth of a new day, watching over all of our actions. I'm sure I can have a better understanding of how she is now by then. I'm sure I can accept her as the 32-year-old Yuri Yamagami without that feeling strange to me. See you tomorrow, then. Yep, see you. We said that with serious looks on our faces. That was all. After I watched her walk away, I headed for the station. Well, okay. All right. Okay. We'll stop here for now. Oh boy. Well, Myth is, we love it. Movement 9? Is that a new book? No, it's said movement, no? Movement with various numbers after it. I think. Yo, I will be back on later tonight. We will, seems pretty shrimpful to me, Desu. Okay, Homo, I'll expect your double-spaced, myth thesis explaining the plot up to this point in the Discord by the time I go live again. I will be live tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern. I'll be finishing up, hopefully, Gal Guardians with Dudika. So I'll see you there. Let's raid Fox, who is playing Melty Blood Type Lumina. Thank you for hanging out. Thanks for sticking with me through this incomprehensible, too deep for you psychological horror game. I love it a lot. So thanks for coming with me. I'll see you again next Tuesday when we'll continue it. Did I see the Melty posting from this morning? No! No, link me in the Discord. But otsukare! Oyasumi! I'll see you again later, okay? Bye-bye!